Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. It's showtime. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Monday Late Night. Woo! What the heck? Okay. I think I just saw a spider. Ugh, he got to go. Not in my house. Anyways. Hey. Welcome to Monday Late Night. It's good to see you. How's everybody doing? Um, Sorry about that. It just kind of threw me off guard for a second. Um, yeah. But anyways, hope everybody's having a good day, y'all. Okay, great. Hey, you guys, it's I for me. How you doing? It's good to see you. Give me just a second, and I'll get my camera going again. Oh, sorry, y'all. Where did he go? Anyways, armed and ready. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Camera's going. I'm here. It was one of those huge ones. If it was a little one, I would be okay with it, but it was one of those huge ones. I was like, he's gotta go. He's gotta go. Now my nose is running. Oh goodness gracious. Anyways, I should have some tissue right here. I almost always do. There's a napkin. Y'all, it's one of those days. I hope y'all had a good day. Um, Cause aside for me, you probably getting right now what we got for the last 3 days, and excuse me, y'all. Um, oh, there he is. There he is. Hold on. I'll be right back. There you go. I got you now. I got you. Where'd he go? Get out my house. Get out. Get out. Yeah, I know. It's bug warfare. Get out. Tell your cousins don't come over here. Y'all, I'm so sorry. But sometimes you just have to get rid of them when you can. And I got him. I got him. I think I stunned him. I don't know if I killed him or not. I smacked him a couple times and threw him out the front door. So he was a fast one. Whew, goodness gracious. So that's all the excitement for today. Anyways, I was saying, I hope that y'all had a great day. If you did not, I hope that tomorrow's better. um, the sun came out today. It was a beautiful day. It has been raining for the last 3 days here. And today, when the sun was out, I was like, I got to go outside. I couldn't do anything because everything was so wet. But I needed to go outside just to get some sun, just to be outside for a minute to breathe some fresh air, to get out of my house because this rain, oh my goodness. We got 7 3/4 of an inch, something like that. Hold on. I wrote it, my husband wrote it down. Um, jeez. Um, yeah. That's not there. There you go. That's what it is. Okay, what did he say? 7.6 inches. 7.6 inches of rain. Um, in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain. Now we needed it because we hadn't had any significant rain for a few weeks, and so it was dry. But we really didn't need to get it all at once. Yeah, but we got it. We got it when we got it. Um, and I had just got. Well, y'all saw the video from last year. I mean, last year. Good Lord have mercy. Where's my brain? Okay, y'all saw the video from last week, and I had just got my green stalk um, filled, not completely planted, but filled, and dropped a bunch of seeds in it. And all the seeds, almost, well, I'm trying to see what didn't come up. I think some of all the seeds I planted came up. So that's pretty amazing. But the rain, I mean, it's been raining for days straight, so it's perfect conditions. It's warm and it's raining, perfect conditions for seed germination. Let's see, weather for Fayetteville conditions are rain, shower with a temperature of 69 degrees, and the wind is from the south southeast at 6 miles per hour. And the current humidity is 93%. Yeah, yeah, 93%. But yeah, um, so that's what's been going on here. So today was a beautiful day. Um, my ground is wet. I might have a video this week that shows some of it. It may or may not show some of it. What had happened was I do not think about filming. Hey, Mike. I do not think about filming stuff until after the fact. So I looked outside and I saw it was pouring rain and there was standing water everywhere. And I said, "Oh, I should film that." And I didn't. And then later I said, "Well, since I'm going to go out today, I'll film it." Well, a lot of the water has run off, um, and the ground is saturated, so you really couldn't tell how squishy the ground was. I couldn't really capture that on video. So yeah, and some of the places where we had standing water yesterday drained off today, so I didn't really get any film of it. But it is what it is. um, and I don't think it's completely over. I think we might get some more showers tomorrow. And I'm not mad at it. I seriously am not mad at it because I have dropped a bunch of seeds in the last few days. Even between showers, I would go out there and drop some seeds because that's the best time. Um, that's the best time. I would go out and drop seeds between showers, and I got a couple of harvests in and everything. So yeah. What is going on? I harvested. I don't know. I think I might have told y'all last week, but I harvested the last of my sweet peas this week and shelled them um, up. Actually, I had some for dinner today, and I should have filmed that, but I didn't. But I shelled them up. I did leave a few out there for seed, um, but I don't know how patient I'm going to be with letting them go ahead and mature and dry out. Um, but yeah. What? It was 90 weather for Minneapolis. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the southeast at 8 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 31%. 90? Jeez, it was warm today. I don't remember what the high was here. Um, it's currently 60. Oh, it was 81 today. Y'all, your weather is crazy. Mike. Ugh. Ugh. What happened? Oh, Lord have mercy. My screen went blank for a second. It's supposed to get 90 on Thursday here. I think we are. Well, let me look at this thing. They're calling for rain. Oh, only a 30% chance of rain tomorrow. Mm. So, yeah, it's supposed to hit 90 on Thursday. Oh, it's only supposed to be 70, 79, 80 tomorrow. So, anyways, weather conditions for Montgomery are mostly cloudy with a temperature of 69 degrees. I thought, yeah, 69 degrees. The wind is blowing from the north at 1 mile per hour, and the current humidity is 79%. Yeah, that part. Um, but yeah, we're supposed to get to 92 on Friday. So yeah, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The problem that I have with it, we got like over 7 inches of rain in 2 days. Um, I'm gonna have to water. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, I will have to water Wednesday, and then I'll be back on watering every day. Because as much rain as we got, there are places that when you pull the soil back, it's not saturated. It's moist, but it's not saturated, which means it's gonna dry out. When the humidities drop, like the humidity is what, 79% now at night. So during the day it may be 40%. 50%, I don't know. But when the humidities drop during the day and that sun comes out, that water is going to be gone. And it's like, dude, didn't we just get a bunch of rain? But luckily, I got my rain barrel. I ordered and got one of those collapsible rain barrels. I don't know if I like it or not, but well, anyways, I got it and I got it set up before the rain came. So my rain barrel's full. And I went ahead and put my mosquito bits in there. Um, so I'm not breeding mosquitoes in there. And actually, I had some netting to cover it as well to keep all kinds of stuff, the stuff that's in, and the stuff that's out. So, yeah, cool. I'm getting a second rain barrel tomorrow. Yeah, I need more than one. I've been using buckets and old coolers, and I'm going to continue to use those. So I have two old coolers, and a couple of 5 gallon buckets and a couple 3 gallon buckets. I just have them scattered here and yon, and so I get water in all of those. But I did finally get a barrel that's 50, 60. I don't even know how big it is. I have to look at the packaging on it. Watching a raccoon on my security cameras right now. Okay, you and the critters. Somebody, I saw a thing, Mike, and I thought of you. And if I had figured out a way to make a copy of it, I would have sent it to you. But it said, "Don't worry, um, if you don't have your ducks in a row, because some people don't have ducks. Some people have squirrels." And I thought of you, and I don't remember what the last part of it was, but I think it was like squirrels wreaking havoc or something like that. So, anyways, when I heard that, I said, "Oh, I should. If I could make a copy of this, I would get it for Mike. I'll have to look it up and get the right words for it." It was hilarious. I don't even remember. I know what it was on. This is the deal, and I should have did a screenshot. I didn't think about doing a green screenshot, but it was on. You know how you go on somebody's, you're watching a video and you're reading the comments, and then somebody comments to the comments. Well, it was one of the comments to the comments, and it was a photograph of on a comment to a comment. So I mean, it's on your screen like this. So even if you zoom in and it was distorted, I was like, I can't get a good copy of it. But yeah, it's funny. So yeah, don't worry if you don't have your ducks in a row. Some people don't have ducks. Some people don't have ducks. Some people have squirrels. And you can't get squirrels to go in a row. Speaking of squirrel, I need to make friends with my squirrels. I need to make friends with them, and I need to tag them. I need to catch them and tag them and put collars or bracelets on them so I can tell them apart and name them and all the things. I need to just make them pets instead of pests because those squirrels have been running across my fence, jumping over to the cypress tree, running down the branch, jumping over to my plum tree, running down the plum tree, skipping over to the peach tree, picking peaches, biting them, and then throwing them on the ground because they're not right. I'm like, y'all done lost your mind. So when I step outside, you hear because they're running up the tree and you can hear them, and then they're across the branches, and then you hear nothing, and then you hear them land in the next tree because they jump and they land. It's crazy. It's like, I don't mind. She just gets water, eats peanut shells, and moves on. Okay. I tell you what, Mike, you have a good relationship with yours, with your um critters in your yard because tell you some of these are out here um yeah, trying to take over. The invasion of the wildlife. Some gave me a sign that says I don't have ducks or a row. I have squirrels and they're everywhere. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cool. It was similar to that. It was very similar to that. I don't have ducks in a row or a row. Hey, GT, how are you? Yeah, I ain't got no ducks, no rows, no squirrel. I got squirrels and birds and oh my goodness, I have so many critters out there. And the skinks this year, I must have a bumper crop of them. I just need to figure out what kind of habitat they need so I cannot provide it for them because y'all saw that big male one that's about yay big with the big bright orange, reddish orangey around the gills and the head. Ugh. There's another one, a little bit bigger than that one, in my garden that lives in the garden. And y'all have seen him because, well, I don't know if it's the same one because it's been a few years ago, but a few years ago when I was harvesting my sweet potatoes, he jumped up and ran and he's in the film. But yeah. Uh, so yeah. But they're everywhere and I'm sick of them because, well, it's not just them. The fence lizards, I've only seen one. The some people call them chameleons, but they're really not. They're animals. They are pretty abundant this year, but the skinks, the broad-headed skinks and the five-line skinks are everywhere. There's one over there that lives by the pine tree and he runs over this way. Then there's one that lives in the garden and he runs over this way and they hiss at each other and then they go back. And then there's one on the other side of the house. Another these are all males. There's one on the other side of the house by the um HVAC unit. And then there's one on the front of the house by the front door. When I walk out the front door, I hear and it's like, oh yeah. And he runs over. It's like he's like, who's in my territory? They're crazy. But yeah, I've got a bunch of them. They don't fight. I've never seen them fight. I think they will fight um, over territory, but they do not like it when you come in their territory. They immediately are. You hear them. They're like, "Who is that? What are you doing?" um, but they've been pretty active this year. And then, oh my gosh, the tree frogs. Y'all have y'all got tree. Yeah, y'all got tree frogs. The tree frogs. I don't have ducks, but I have tree frogs that sing. like this. Black, 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 black. There's one that's on the window in my kitchen. There's one that's on the window in the garage over there, and then there's one that's on this back window over here. There's more than that. I mean, I will go out there and I'll move something around, and there'll be one sitting in a plant or sitting in a container or whatever. There's more than that, but those are the ones that I see the most. The one on those three windows, and they are black, 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 black. And I'm like, okay. And I like them. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I like the tree frogs. I probably have a video of them, of the tree frogs, because I like the tree frogs. Anything that eats bugs are welcome. um, Out there, because I got bugs too. And slugs and birds. Oh my goodness, the birds have been eating my blueberries. I did get the bag. It's not the best because I need to put a frame around the blueberry so the bag has something that I can clip it to, because the weight of the bag is weighing the plant down. But I was just trying to get the bag over the plant, so I did get the bag and put it over the plant, and sure enough, 2 days later I had ripe blueberries. So yeah, the blueberries were getting eaten by the birds. And then I got three blackberries. They were big. Um, Off of the blackberry that I got, one of the blackberries that I got this year. And yeah, I put that, they were red, and I went ahead and put them under the netting too, and they went ahead and ripened up to black, and so I got those, and I got about half cup of blueberries, a little bit less than half a cup of blueberries, and the three blackberries. After I put the bag over it. What kind of I did a short on science if copper, Tate, and slug. Oh, hey Zach, thanks for coming in. What kind of cage did you get for your berries? Um, and where'd you get it from? Um, I don't have anything big enough. But I might just use a tomato cage on it, and then put the net over that. Because I do have a couple of tomato cages, and I've got, you know what I do have? I have some stuff. I got some stuff. I've got stuff. I have everything that I need for real. Um, I don't have everything that I want, because every day I see something new that, ooh, that's cute. I like that. I might like it. I might want one of those. It's 10 by 6, and I got it from Amazon. Okay, cool. Yeah. My berries don't have a final home yet. I'm still trying to figure out where that final home is going to be for them. And once I figure out that, then I can figure out something a little bit more permanent, to cover them with. Since I see it's going to be a fight between me and the birds for my berries. And you know what? I don't mind the birds getting some. I really don't. They can have some. But you know what? There are wild blackberry bushes, vines, canes. That's what they're called, canes. There's wild blackberry canes in my gardenia, and my holly out front, and my boxwood. No, those are both hollies. And the holly on both sides of the out front, and and other random places on the property that have fruit on them. They're not just the canes. They're not just the canes with leaves on them, but they're the canes with fruits on them, but they're the wild ones with the thorns, and the fruits are a little bitty. And why can't the birds have those? That's what I want to know. So I'm leaving those. I'm not netting any of those. Now, if the birds don't get those, I'm gonna get them too. Hey Darthex, thanks for coming in. I thought you thought I said I was giving my berries cake to grow. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Oh no, she said she got a cage. She got a cage. I'm sorry. Yeah. Uh, Cage, cake. Yeah, what's the difference? What kind of cage? What kind of cake? Yeah. Then Micah just saw you a short copper. That's an interesting concept. So far slugs haven't been that big of an issue for me. I have slugs. I have a lot of slugs. But they just haven't been that big of an issue with me. There was a few baby slugs on one of my um bunches. I planted my peas in bunches. So in one of the bunch of peas there were a few little baby slugs on the ones on the bottom, but that was just them. And then otherwise I haven't even seen any slugs in the garden. I see them mostly along the side of the house on the north side of the house. They're closer to the house than they are out there. I've seen a few in the yard, but not many. So I'm not too worried about them right now. But hey, I have had slugs in the past, and why they go for your eyes and nose, water. Yeah. I had one trying to get in my ear as I watered tonight. What? Why do they go for your eyes and nose? Um, yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. That was the whole conversation. I had a whole conversation with myself. That's pretty funny. Anyways, but yeah, things are the rain helped. The rain helped. Um, um, so things are looking good in the garden. So y'all, I had a question for this live tonight that I wanted to ask y'all. Actually, it was multiple questions, but the main one is motivation. No, inspiration, motivation, determination. Which one is harder for you? And when you have things that you want to get done, is it harder for you to get inspired to do something, or to be motivated to do it, or or the determination to follow through and get it done? Um, So yeah, which one is hardest for you? You said motivation. When I was outside, I had a sewer rat trying to crawl up the inside of houses, drain gutter pipe. Oh, whew. Yeah. So yeah, that was the question. Inspiration, motivation, determination. Which of those, if any? Not it didn't really have um to be any of those, but the thing that is most difficult for you as far as getting things done. And then if like you were saying is motivation. So a lot of people motivation, Mike said motivation. I have the desire, energy is another matter. One of the things that um people one of the things about motivation is different people are motivated differently. If you don't know how you're motivated, then you may not be able to um, effectively change your strategies to get yourself motivated. And so it's good to look into how you're motivated. Are you a person who is internally motivated? Do you have the to get up and go? Are you the one who's your own cheerleader, or are you a person who is externally motivated? Do you need a stimulus from the outside? Do you need some encouragement? Do you need um, something, anything to get motivated? And depending on what kind of a person you are, and even more to that, um, are you negatively motivated or positively motivated? Some people are, um, some people, a vast majority of people will do things because if I don't do that, then if that motivates you, then you keep that in mind. But some people will do things because, I wonder if you could do that. Can it be done? That's the only motivation they need. Can it be done? I wonder if you could do that. Let me try. So you have to figure out, what kind of motivation do you need? What kinds of things motivate you? Are you positively motivated? Are you negatively motivated? Is it neutral? That's if motivation is the low hole in the bucket. If motivation is up here and you down here, then we're not worried about motivation. Yeah, we can worry about something else. Yeah, but yeah. I'm learning to do one thing method, get one task done. If I get energy to do another, and to be happy with one thing today, do one tomorrow. Yes. Yes, today. Yeah, do one tomorrow. Yeah. And it's interesting. I'm a person who is motivated by the end. Which is kind of crazy. But let me tell you what I mean. I'm motivated by the outcome. So if I can look ahead, if I look ahead and see a hill, I'm gonna sit down and figure out a strategy how I can make myself be at the top of the hill at the end. So when I'm all finished, it's all downhill. Because I know that I have to leave, pack up, and go. But after the task is done, my energy is gonna be gone. So, hey, Bayou Sugar, 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 sugar. So I'm like I said, I'm one of those people who look to the end so I can come up with a strategy to get to the end. And sometimes I'll say to myself, like, if I'm exercising, for example, it could be anything. It could be eating. If I say, it is it's 11:35 and I really, really want something to eat, but I can wait until 2 to eat. And then if I wait until 2 to eat, then my eating window for the day will have been so many hours. Right? It's like that'll put me at 13 hours and I want it to go to 13 hours. You know what I'm saying? Or same thing. I mean, that's just one thing. But even if I'm exercising, I'll go. If I can make it to that next line, then I'm good. And then when I get to that line, I'm like, if I can make it to the next line, then I'm good. I used to, when um I would run from pole to pole. So I'll be running, and when I get to the pole, I will walk. And then, not running, jogging, I will walk. And when I get to the next pole, okay, I'm gonna jog from this pole to the next pole, because I had a set destination, and that was my motivation to get to the pole. And so as long as I can see an end point, even if it's a temporary endpoint, and then I'm usually motivated to keep going. And I'm going, yeah, I can do anything for 3 minutes, or I can do anything for 15 minutes. And that's how I get stuff done around the house. It's like 15 minutes. I can do anything for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna set a timer, and I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes. Even if I'm not finished with the task, I'm finished for 15 minutes, and I can go back to what I was doing, or go to something else, you know. And I'm not going to go outside. And these are all examples, y'all. I'm not going to go outside. Like today, I said, I'm not going to go outside until I get the dishwasher unloaded and the dishes put away. And so I had to go do that before I could go outside. And so that's the motivation, is like, it's not, I mean, I guess you would consider it a reward, but going outside was to do more work. But I don't mind doing the garden work, so I don't need anything to motivate me to do the garden work. Um, Mike says, I pulled off cooking dinner for the family. Um, Pulled off cooking dinner for the family. Oven roasted chicken and meatless Monday for myself. Oven roasted portobello mushrooms with Swiss cheese. Oh, nice. Yeah. I done in a couple of hours what took me 4 days. Getting old stinks. Yeah, that is true. I was out today. That sounds really good, Darth X. I didn't get to go outside today because I didn't finish my inside task. So I'm looking forward to going outside tomorrow. I'm telling you, sometimes I'm going outside in the garden is my reward for getting something done in the house. I was saying about my energy level today. I was outside today and I didn't do much. I was really just looking at what things look like after all the rain, because we got a bunch of rain. And I went out to get the trash can. Today was trash day, and so I went to bring the trash can back up into the yard from the roadside. And I walked I was walking down the driveway and I was in the sun and I was coming up onto a shady spot. I got under the tree in a shady spot, and it's like, I can't believe I'm sweating. I just walked like from my back door around the backyard and halfway up the driveway. And I was so tired. It's like, I can't believe I don't, I felt like I didn't have the energy to go one more step. This house is making me crazy. I'm gonna have to leave. I don't live with critters. I know he's outside. I put him outside. So I know it's not him. But anyways, what I was saying is that my energy just was gone. It was absolutely gone. And so I said to myself, I can make it I can make it to the mailbox and to take the trash can back up, and then I'll go back in the house. And that's what I did. I went make did that. It's just a little bit of a walk. It's not even that far, but my energy level was like, we're done. We're going in the house, you know. So, but yeah, I didn't do much outside today. I really wanted to do a little bit more, but I didn't. But anyways, so we were talking earlier before you came in, I think, by you about inspiration, motivation, determination, which is the thing that you have the most trouble with of those three. And then a couple of people said motivation, and I was talking about, are you internally motivated, externally motivated, positively motivated, negatively motivated, neutral motivation. What kind of motivation? Because you can set, if you know what kind of motivation works for you, then you can set yourself up um, for success by planning your motivation. Um, if you want to get something, that I want to do this within the next 6 months, or I want to do this within the next year, then I have to have so much done by this time. And in order for me to get it done, this is what it looks like. And you can actually plan your motivation. If you are externally motivated, you can write yourself a card, or a series of cards. Put your name and address on them. Put a stamp on them and mail them to yourself. So then when it comes, you open it up and your card says, "Did you do so and so and so?" If you need that external stimulus, I mean, you, literally, I wouldn't go that far, but you can. You can do that. You can set up reminders on your phone. I have reminders. I have a 1 day and a 1 hour reminder on my phone for every appointment. Um, so that I can make my appointments on time. It's important to me that people value my time, and so I value other people's time. So I make appointments. I get to my appointments on time. And how do I do that? I put them in my calendar. I set a reminder for 1 day, and I set a reminder for 1 hour. So I get a reminder the day before so I can prepare for the meeting, and then I get a reminder an hour before so I can get my butt out the house. And, unless it's something that takes longer than an hour for me to get to. So, excuse me a minute. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Ooh, and I'm gonna look for my inhaler. Mm, and I don't think it's right here. I thought it was right here. Here's my purse. Hold on. Uh, looking for my inhaler because I might need it. There, I got it. In case I need it. I don't know if I want to take that or not, though. Anyways, it is what it is. That's how I do my calendar. Google Calendar works for me. Yes. Um, but I'm also one of those people who don't like to be told what to do. So I have to make it be my idea. If somebody else says to me, "Oh, you should do so and so," I'm like, "Why?" Oh, why don't you do so and so? Why don't you try? Have you tried so and so? No. Why would I? I don't want you to tell me what to do. Um, so yeah. Hey, Drini, how are you? I struggle with motivation a lot due to my mood, mental state. I get inspired to do a lot and then start, be determined to finish, but get overwhelmed and then lack of motivation. Yeah, a lot of people are saying motivation, and I can see that. I get a lot of inspiration. Inspiration comes all the time, everywhere. In fact, I have too much inspiration because I don't have enough determination to follow through with a lot of it. Really and truly, it's, yeah, almost sleepy. I'm really sleepy, but I'm pretending that I'm not. It's like then I have to step back and organize and set aside daily goals. Yeah, that's one of the things that keeps me motivated, for real. Organization is one thing that keeps me motivated, and setting many goals, really setting many goals. That's like things that have a daily task. You know, I don't know, Vlogmas or Inktober or even National Novel Writing Month, where you have a daily goal. Those kinds of things I eat up. Because first of all, I don't want to make the goal. I want to beat the goal every day. And so if I have a daily goal, I want to get it done. I want to get it done. And so I will set aside the time. I remember the first year, I think it was 2009, maybe. The first year I did National Novel Writing Month, I didn't start until late, like the 11th of the month, and I finished early. I kept saying, "Oh, I don't know. I hadn't heard about it. I didn't know anything about it. Do I want to do this? I don't really write novels. I write poetry. Da 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 da. Do I even have a story in me? I went all through. Do I want to do this? I don't know if I want to do this. Yeah, okay, I can do it. And then, did I just start writing? No, I got the spreadsheet. There's a spreadsheet that you could keep up with your daily writing goal and your daily how much you got done, and it shows the graph of where you are and projects when you will finish. And I figured out how much I had to write every day to get to that number, because it's a word count, to get to that word count by the end. And I either met or broke that number every day until I finished. But that I spend more time on the spreadsheet tracking my progress than I spent actually writing, because I only had to write like, I would get up in the morning an hour before my normal time, and I would sit down and I would write for an hour. And then at night I would write for 2 hours. So I wrote 3 hours a day. And that was enough for me to make the deadline. And I did that every day in November, from I think it was the 11th of November to the 28th. That month, that year, that first year I did it. And then the next year was similar to that, and it took me a little bit longer to do it because I started on the first day and I didn't write near as much. But still, those little mini goals and having that spreadsheet tracking it and having that visual chart showing where I was, having the lines. There was the two lines. There was the this is the rate you have to write in order to meet, and then there was the line, this is where you are. I wanted to be above that the whole time so I could reach that boom for that. And just having that visual really helped me. And so one of the things that I learned about myself is I need many goals. I need little steps along the way. What step? And I also need to see an end point. I'm not. Whew, I am, because I got paid to do this. I'm not one of those people who can work to no goal. Having worked for the government, you can do that because, okay, I worked for the government for 37 years. You could start on a project today and have funding for that project for the next 3 years. So it looks like you will be able to get the project done. But come October 1, Congress and the president can decide that they don't care if you work or not. And so you get sent home. Now the funding is still there. It was already approved. It's already targeted, but they decided they don't want to pass a budget, so you can't go to work today. It's like, what? Yeah, that could happen. And so it could happen every year, and then you could change administration and it could still happen every year. And so things like that could happen. And so you could end up working on a project for a year and a half, and then the administration change and they say, oh, we're not doing any projects on that. And the project goes on the back burner in a file cabinet somewhere. And it can get picked up again 8-10 years later. It's like, you remember that project we were working on? Yeah, we called it that. We're going to change the name of it. We're going to call it this now, and we're going to redo it. We're going to go ahead and finish it. So yeah, that's kind of hard to stay motivated. It's really hard to stay motivated when you are when your goals are moving targets. It may be, I call it the dark room method of management. We used to have a supervisor who he was real good at that dark room management. He would say he didn't say it. This is the analogy. The analogy is, there's a room. It's a dark room. And there's some things in there. A lot of different things in there. But I need you to go in that room and get a thing for me. Okay? And that's all you get. The room is dark. You go in a dark room. You can't see nothing. You feeling around. You feel something. Oh, here's the thing. You take the thing. You bring it out. You give it to him. And he says, oh, no, that's not the thing. You need to take that back and go get the thing that I want you to get. Now he didn't give you no description. No size, no weight, no nothing of what the thing is. None whatsoever. And the room is dark and you can't see. And you go back in and you find some more things. It's like, okay, I'm going to put this thing over here and I'm going to put all the other things over there. And we're going to keep taking them one at a time until we find the thing. That's the kind of, sometimes when you have no goal, that can be hard to stay motivated. Bayou says, so that's what happens when with the funding money. See, y'all don't want to know how the sausage is made. Y'all just want sausage for breakfast. That's all. You don't want to know how the sausage is made. Yeah. The interesting thing about the funding, and different agencies are different. So I know how our agency and our funding work. And our funding came with the interior appropriation, although we were not interior department. It just came, that's the appropriation bill that our funding came under. Don't ask why, but that's what it was. But there was, and this is a quick explanation. The funding would be approved for a year. So Congress gets together, they put together a budget, they send it to the president. The president signs off on it, and the budget is approved for a year. Except it's not really approved for a year. It's that year's budget, but some of the money, the money is approved until it's used. For some years, the money is approved for 3 years or until it's used. So if you use it up before 3 years, you don't get no more, but you have 3 years to use it up. And so you have some money that you get this money, you can use it however long it takes you to spend it. It takes you that. Boom, got that. Here's some more money. You can use this, but you got 3 years to use it. If you use it before that 3 years is up, you're out of money. Okay, there. And then there's 1 year money. Okay, so you get these 3 different pots of money. Okay, next year, Congress don't get the budget signed. Congress get the budget approved, but the president doesn't sign it. They say, oh, we ran out of money to run the government. We're going to shut the government down. What happened to those 3-year monies and those until you got spent money? Couldn't they spend those monies to keep working? Exactly, they could. But when they say they shut down the government, they say, oh, we're going to shut down the government. Even though you have in your account this balance that could keep you working, every single employee working for the next probably whole year. I don't even know how long. Yeah. The government gets shut down, you can't use that money. And it's kind of like, even though the money is approved and the money is appropriated and you have the money, the people who process the money can't work. So therefore you can't use the money. That's how it is. It's like, well, yeah, the National Finance Center is not working. So it's not like we can't pay you. So you can't work, even though the money's there. Yeah. So that's how it works. And so projects can be started, be funded, and be stopped. And if it's the kind of money that you can use at any time, so literally you could come back 8, 10, 20 years later, and if that money never got spent on that project because that project was pulled, that project could be put back into the pipeline. So yeah, but that's more than y'all wanted to know about. About how the funding actually works versus how like people think it works. Man, it'd be crazy if you managed your budget that way. Your budget that way. It's like, oh, I got paid today and I can use this money today, or I can use it tomorrow, but I got to use it before the end of next month. Say what? Yeah, that part. And then somebody comes around 6 months later and say, oh, no, you can't use that money anymore. And you're like, but I still got it. Yeah, but we're closing the bank. So you can't get it. Anyways, um, That was it. Um, I was gonna ask y'all something else. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. Y'all know I have not been crafting at all. I've been mostly gardening and thinking about gardening and and going through seeds and yeah, that's what I've been mostly doing. I haven't been crafting, and I need to get back to it because I've got some projects I need to get finished. Um, and I should have been working on those and on these rainy days, but instead I was doing indoor gardening stuff on the rainy days. I need to do an update on my indoor garden. I kind of got started with the WIG 2024, and I got a couple of harvests off of everything in there, and then I was like, ugh, I kind of let that fall by the wayside. Um, but I need to get back. Um, need to get back to the indoor gardening. I have one unit that is not set up, and then you can craft once the garden's going. Yeah. um, but I've got one unit yet to be set up, and then I might get another unit. The price is good. On the unit, on the Mufco unit, it's like 49 right now. I think sometimes it goes down to 39, but 49 is not bad. Um, and it's probably made in China, so it may go up. I don't know. Um, but I might get one more because I think I want one more unit. Hey, David Corey, how are you? I hope you had a great day. How was your day? Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day to any um, mothers or um out there. That part. I got to set up a metal bed. I think it's gonna be my Pepper's bed. Oh, okay. Hey, you know what I mean, David. You know exactly what I mean. I mean, hey, David. That's what I meant. David. I have a cousin named David, and he has the most beautiful eyes in the whole world. He has those really dark, long, curly eyelashes. My cousin David. Actually, I have several cousins, two cousin Davids, one on each side. One on my mom's side and one on my dad's side. And the one on my dad's side, oh my God. Anyways, my cousins. David. I didn't have an uncle David on my dad's side. That's interesting. I had an uncle David on my mom's side and a cousin David on my mom's side, but I didn't have an uncle David on my dad's side. But I have a cousin David on my dad's side. I want to do some crafting once my garden beds are in. Dollar Tree. Here I come. Yeah, I went over to the Dollar Tree the other day. Um, I went for a specific item and I did good. I just wanted to get some more of the little pots that they have because I start seeds in them sometimes or try up plant up pot seeds into them sometimes. So that's all I went there. But I was like, oh, I was looking at the craft section. I was looking, and I was like, oh, I wonder I should. And I kept myself from going over there. Did I even? No. I was gonna say I kept myself. I didn't get anything. What did I? Hold on. Let me make sure. I don't think I got anything But the little cups, because I use these sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I use them. And some more labels, some plant labels. But I don't. I want the other kind of labels, so I'm gonna get some of the other kind of labels. But these are fine. I needed some. I needed some because I was planting a bunch of stuff, and yeah, so I did good. My dad has a brother named David. Unfortunately, the other brothers died. Yeah, yeah. My dad was one of nine. No, 11. He was one of 11. My mom was one of 12. Um, and yes, all of his brothers and sisters had children, but one of my mom's sisters didn't have children. So, yeah, lots of cousins. Lots of cousins. Yeah. And yeah, lots of cousins. I remember my one uncle had 9 kids, and he had their graduation pictures on the wall. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the nice thing about that, because he had all of their graduation pictures on the wall, I could remember how the ages better, because the oldest four are like a year apart, and I could never remember, was this one older than this one? It's like, oh, no, no, he was first, and then came her, then came him, then came him, her, and her. Yeah. It's like, okay, okay, which one, what the, how to remember what order they came in, who was the oldest and who was the youngest. She was the youngest. She was the next youngest. He came after her. Yeah, he came after him. Yeah. But that's how I kept them apart. I mean, their ages, because and it's funny because I mean, I I stayed with my uncle for I don't know, a summer or two when I was in school. Well, before I was in school, actually, when I was in high school, I stayed with them for a while, and then when I was in college, I stayed with them um, some more. But all of his kids were older than me, by I'm trying to think, by at least, I don't know, maybe there was one who was my age, but then all the rest of his kids were older than me by at least 3 years, the closest. Um, Maybe one my age and then 3 years older and on up. And so when I was there in high school, um, no, there was only two of them were still living at home. And when I was there in college, it was just me and the uncle and the auntie. But it was nice having an uncle that close. Because he was only about, less than 30 miles away from school where I went to college. And so it was really nice being that close. Um, and it saved me. Literally, it saved me. I had a roommate who was doing illegal things, and I didn't feel safe. And so I called a cousin and was like, look, can you come get me? Because this woman is out of control. And he was there in 30 minutes, or less, and my stuff was packed up and I was out of there. And it was like, until go to the right offices and fill out the right paperwork. Anyways, long story short, she ended up being arrested like the next week, and luckily I had moved out, didn't have anything there, and I had gone to housing, and told them that I, needed a new dorm room because I couldn't stay there. That my roommate was out of control, and I didn't feel it was safe to stay there. And I'm glad. If my uncle hadn't been close and I didn't have anybody who could come and get me that day, I might have been there when the raid happened, and I probably would have been in jail with her. Mm, so definitely saved me. My dad was one of 10 siblings. Yeah, they had big families back in the day. And it was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up with a lot of cousins, it was nice. Growing up with lots of aunties and uncles, it was nice. We spent a lot of time with them. We did a lot of family things, and so we knew them, and it was nice. And families were closer then. My kids don't have that many. Um, you know, I'm Um, I'm one of five, but only three of us had kids. And so, and then, yeah, it's just not that many. And while the kids know their cousins, they don't really know them like we knew our cousins. Like they didn't grow up together. I grew up with my cousins. I went to school with my cousins. You know, that kind of thing. We were, a lot of them. We some of them, not all of them. Nobody in my family is trustworthy. Sadly, I've been on my own since 15. Yeah. Hi, Shari. Kiara. I'm sorry. It's okay, David, if I can't say your whole name at the same time. But yeah, my kids didn't have that. They do have some cousins, and they know. I'm trying to think on both sides. They know a couple of. They don't even know most of their cousins. Honestly, they know a couple of their cousins, but all of their cousins are older. On Yes, on both sides. All of their cousins are older on both sides, and so much older, and so they didn't really grow up with them. They don't really know them like that. In fact, they call some of them auntie and uncle because they're that much older. But yeah, I mean, they do know their aunties and uncles though, so there's that. But it's a whole. I mean, it's just a whole different thing. There was a bunch of us that were the same age. Some of us shared great grandparents. My cousins that shared great grandparents, a lot of us were the same age. There was probably, I want to say, at least 15 of us. Not at the same school at the same time or anything like that, but like I had two cousins, I had two cousins in on Long Island who were the same age, and then I had two cousins in Landover who were the same age, and then I had two cousins in Baltimore who were the same age, and I had two cousins in Philly who were the same age. That's two, four, six, eight. It's probably 15 or more of us that were within 3 years of each other. That shared the same great grandparents. And we were bad. Somehow or another, we ended up all together every year. and but it wasn't all together for a whole time, but like, you know, somebody would come home for a holiday. Some of the cousins would come home for a holiday and bring the kids, and so there's a bunch of kids running around the whole place and getting into trouble and doing all kinds of stuff, and it was kind of cool. It was cool. Now we're not near as close as we were growing up, but It was nice growing up with cousins like that were pretty much the same age, and even now, even now, we went. Where did we go? Oh, one of my cousins got married. My 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 cousin's daughter got married, and so um, same thing, the same generation. It was about five of us that went to the wedding, and they were like, "Dang, y'all could be sisters because we look alike, we act alike, we talk alike, but we were raised alike. We were raised alike." Yeah, it was fun. No, it was fun. Yeah, Auntie was there cutting up. Oh my gosh, she always was a cut up. Auntie, I need to go see her. Anyways, I'm just reminiscing about this whole family. My family, like I said, my family is big and we're close. And yeah, yeah. It's like when me and my sister um go and place together and everybody's like, "Oh my God, y'all look alike. Oh my God, y'all." When my cousins and most of my cousins come in, you would think we were all sisters. You would not think. In fact, you would think there was probably some twins in the mix because we looked that much alike. And I remember going and we were in Baltimore, and we had just gotten to town. I got out the car, and my cousin was down the street. Um, and so I was like, telling my mom, so it's down the street. I'm gonna go down there and say, hey. And I'm walking down the street, and somebody starts calling me from behind me with my cousin's name. They calling my cousin's name, and I'm like, well, she down the street. So I thought they were talking to her. They were talking to me, and they got up on me, and they were like, and they're patting me on the back, and I turned around and they were like, I thought you was, and I'm like, no. But we looked that much alike that that person thought I was my cousin. But we shared grandma, so yeah. uh, we shared grandparents, so yeah, that part. Um, my cousins all had musical training except me. Oh, really? No, see, all of us had musical training in my immediate family because my parents bought a piano, and when you spend the money to buy a piano, then all your kids are gonna take piano lessons. So we all had piano lessons. I think it was like a 2.5 years, 3 years minimum that you had to stick it out. But my brother ended up they bought the piano really because my brother is the one who has had the talent, and he ended up getting a degree in fine arts and music and becoming a composer and all of those things. But then we also were all, except my older sister. I don't think my older sister was. I don't think she was in the band, but the rest of us were all in the band too. And then they did not have choir when I was in high school, but when my brother and sister, my other older sister and brothers were in high school, they had choir. They called it Glee Club. They were in Glee Club. Actually, they were in all the musical and art stuff. Let's just say that all the musical and art stuff my brother and sister did. But yeah, I was in band and I had piano lessons. I can't play the piano and I don't play anything now. But I have a collection of musical instruments. I do. I do. I do. I do. Oh, my yeah. I have a collection. I have a guitar. I love it. I have a violin. It's not playable right now. Um, Guitar, a violin, African drums, reed flute. Um, I have more. I can't think of. Anyways, there may be something else here that I can't think of right now. But yeah, I have. I have a collection. It's like I gotta retire from my current job, learn piano. I mean, I can see, hear music in my head. I just gotta train the fingers to follow along on the keys. Yeah, you can do that. I could play the piano. I can play the piano if I try. I just don't want to have to try. I just want to be. See, this is what they talk about motivation. I don't want to have to try. I just want to be able to sit down and but I'm not that person. I'm not a virtuoso or nothing like that. I'm the person who can play the fiddle, violin. I can play the fiddle, and if I have the music in front of me, I can play about any simple tune because I'm a really good sight reader. But you give me the instrument with no paper in front of me, and I can play probably about 15 songs that I've got memorized, and that's it. I can't improvise. I'm not good at improvising, but I'm good at memorizing. And and I mean, it is what it is. Please check out my channel member, TT's Urban Pantry. I have one member, and it's TT. She gets a shout out. Y'all, I learned guitar and tuba. Remember none of it. I really do want to learn to play my guitar, and that might be my goal, a new goal for myself to learn to play my guitar because I love it. It's so pretty. It sounds so good. It's a shame that no one is playing that guitar. That is just sitting up, gathering dust. Not really because it's in a case, but you know what I'm saying. Mm, that's just a shame. So I really want to learn how to play my guitar. And I do have like three chords. I can play a C chord, a D chord, a G chord, and I can play an F, but I don't play it right. The F chord. That's it. So I've got three chords, and I can't consistently play them. I can't remember it. Like I can, if I pick up the guitar right now, I can put the fingering down and play a chord, but I don't know which one it is. And then I can switch to another chord, but I don't know which one that is. I know it's either the C, the G, the D. Yeah, the C, the G, or the D. That's what I know, but I don't know which one it is. So I have to train my brain to know which one it is. And yeah, that part. But that's it. That's it. And like I said, I'm not consistent with it at all. There's no consistency because I haven't practiced in forever. In fact, I don't even have any calluses on my fingers, so I can't play my violin either. Now, my violin, I can pick it up and play a song on it because I remember, I know the notes on that. Whereas on the guitar, I don't know the notes. I know the notes of the strings, but I don't know, yeah, that part. And chords are a whole different thing. Um, but it's it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. There's so many things in so little time. So little things, so little time. Mm. But yeah, I was in the band. I was in the band. I was in concert band. I was in marching band. Um, and I played two different instruments. I played clarinet in concert band, and I played flute in marching band. I don't know. And anybody who knows they're not even the same. One's a C instrument, the other one's a B flat instrument. So yeah, whole all different, whole different thing. But yeah, and it's so funny because um, I didn't want to play the fruit. I didn't want to play the flute because um, the flute was like all the girls played flutes because it was a little instrument and it was one of the, and you know, it was on the low end of the prices for the rentals, and da 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 da. There was a lot of stuff about stigma attached to playing the flute. I didn't really want to play flute, but what had happened was, um, the person who played first chair flute was really, really good. And in marching band, we had a piccolo, and she played piccolo. So we lost a flute player for marching band. And so they needed an extra flute player. And it was like, and they had a bunch of clarinet players. I didn't want to play clarinet either because my sister played clarinet, da da da. I just wanted to play something new and different and not what everybody was doing. Can I play the oboe? Yeah. Let me play the French horn. Actually, I didn't want to play French horn because my brother played French horn. So so yeah, anyways, all the things I didn't want to do because somebody else had already done them. It's like somebody else has already done everything, so pick one. But anyways, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed band, and it was really good for me because we did a lot. We did parades, and we did concerts, and we did halftime shows at football games, and the whole thing. So it was really good um, for me. I learned a lot, and I can read music. Not that it does me a whole lot of good, but yeah, I can read music. So there's that. I have to do that. So, but yeah. I was gonna tell y'all something else about the garden. Oh my, everything. I think I told y'all everything, all the seeds that I dropped in that video and that green stalk, almost everything is up. And I was kind of concerned because the soil is not what it was what I had. You know what I'm saying? You use what you have. I got 4 tiers done on the green stalk for my mom. Nice. Our marching band used to walk what around the school? Only 3 to go. 4 tiers done, 3 to go. Okay. It takes a minute to fill those green stalks. Was bad early, but end of the year was nice. Oh, okay. Yeah. Blocks. Okay. Yeah, everything came up in that green stalk. And like I said, I need to get some more soil because but it's like whatever. Shakira says I got my first green stalk last week. Yeah, I just got my first one this season. I went ahead and got they were on sale at the time, and so I got 2 of them, and I don't know. I'll have to see how they do, how everything produces in them. But right now, I've got them both. One is fully um it's filled up. One's got seeds or plants in every pocket. Not everything has germinated, but there is in every pocket. And then the other one is not full of plants, it's full of soil. And so I've got more pockets that I'm going to be filling, but I've got seedlings that are coming up. I just want to wait till they get a little bit bigger before I transplant them. But yeah, but congratulations on getting your first green stalk. Have you got it planted yet? Have you got it filled? It takes a bunch of soil to fill those things up. Luckily, I was able to get my soil from I got a couple, I think 4 bags of soil from Costco. Um I think it started out at 11.99, but the second time I went back and got 2 more bags, I think it was 8.99. Um for the same whatever, the big bags. And it was decent soil. It wasn't great soil, but it was decent soil. It was Miracle Grow, organic, potting soil, I think is what I put in there. Miracle Organic potting soil. But I also had some Pro Mix that I picked up last year when it was on sale for, I forgot, when it was on sale at Walmart. I picked up a couple things of Pro Mix, and so I mixed those together. One of the things I don't like about the Pro Mix is it feels like it dries out fast to me. And maybe not. So yeah. Darthek said, one of my strawberry plants in the green stalk has strawberries. Woo, nice. Yeah, my strawberries are looking pretty good. I was thinking that I was gonna lose them, but they're looking good. I don't like where they are. I don't like what they're in, blah, 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 the whole nine, but I'm not gonna do nothing to them this year, but pick berries if they come. If I get berries on there, I'm gonna pick berries and eat them. Otherwise, and they have flowers on them, and they've had a berry or two on them, but the birds got them before me, so maybe I'll cover that because I can cover that easily. Yeah, luckily I had a bunch of compost and peat moss that I can mix with the soil. Yeah, and not just, I don't know. Are you guys who do you guys who use the Pro Mix organic? I think it's organic garden soil. I think the yellow bag. I think the red bag is not organic, but it's potting mix. Anyways, I don't know. It was the yellow bag. Um, do you guys mix that with anything? Do you find that it dries out quickly or not? Maybe everything that I have used that soil in, I have mixed it with other soils because I find that it dries out. And so a lot of times I will put the Pro Mix on the bottom and then put the other soil on the top. And I've done it both ways where I put one on the bottom, one on the top, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then I've done it where I've mixed it too. And and I think it does better in places where it's mixed. Ugh, excuse me. um, Maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys have any of y'all used the Pro Mix? Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate it. And if it goes on sale again, I'm gonna get some more. But right now there's no soil out here that I love. I just get whatever's on sale. If Costco has soil, I buy it at Costco. Ollie's had some soil that was about the same cost as it was at Costco, and I didn't pick up any while I was there. It did say it had organic nutrients in it. I don't know what it was. I think it was a Miracle Grow brand. But it was about the same size bag and about the same price. Um, Pro Mix is too much peat moss, in my opinion, and I got 4 bags of it left. I need to mix it. Yeah, I mix it. I don't like it. I would not ever use it by itself. Not by itself at all. I mix it. But I think it just, for me, it seems to dry out. So I try not to leave it on top. Because I'm forever watering because I'm thinking my plants need watering. And yeah, it's like, don't use this on top. But anyways, but I haven't, like I said, the texture of Pro Mix is nice until, anyways. But then the last soil that I got, it felt like it had too much coco coir in it. So it's supposedly to keep it from drying out too much or keep you from overwatering or underwater, whatever. It said something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I have the orange regular and the red organic, and I have 2 bags of organic Miracle Grow. Yeah. Yeah. And so, like I said, I got it on sale and I mixed it. And then I was in Aldi and they had their soil was on sale. It was like $4.99 or something. It was where they put stuff before that it's gone forever. They have it first, they have it in one section, they have a section for garden stuff, and then they move it. And once they move it, it's like, okay, next week it's not gonna be here. And so yeah, I got a couple of bags of, they're the smaller bags of the soil from them, and that stuff is trash. That stuff is trash, but it's a filler. So I just dumped it in with something else, mixed it in with that, and call it a day. It will, it'll break down over time, and it will become good soil eventually. Because I'm gonna put some of my homegrown compost in it anyway. So yeah, but yeah, I picked up the Pro Mix last year when it went on sale. So I had a couple of bags of that, but I've used all that now. So I still have some of the Miracle Grow from Costco, and I still have some of I think I still have a bag or two left of the stuff that I got from Aldi. I usually don't pick up Aldi's. I think I've tried it before and I thought, yeah, this is not great. It's not bad, but I mean, it's a growing medium, is what it is. It's a growing medium. And you can grow stuff in it. So, it's not that bad. But yeah, when it comes to soil, I have to say I'm the person that wants the best price I can get on it because I haven't really found one that I love. Um, yeah, breathe. Breathing is the first step to living. Yeah, that part. Whenever I read that, I wrote that down, right? I put that in there so it would come up. And whenever I read it, my brain goes, no, it's not. I think I'm a contrary. I think I'm a born contrary. My question is like, well, it depends. The answer to every question is, it depends. Yeah, it depends. So we were playing, what were we playing? We were playing, um, whose channel we were on? We were on somebody's channel and we were playing, was it CC? And we were playing garden trivia or something. And she asked a question. It was She would ask a question, and if it was a like a fill in the blank question or like a tell me what you know about question, I'm good with those. But if it's a true false question, I can always think of a exception to the rule. So every time it's like, well, that's true, but that's mostly false, but I don't know why my brain always goes to the exception. It's like, well, not always, well, sometimes, but sometimes, yeah, that part. Sometimes, but sometimes, yeah. I feel like I'm rambling, y'all. Y'all need to pull me back in. Were we talking about something in particular? Did I just go off on 18 different tangents? Yeah, I was like, squirrel, chicken, duck, raccoon. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, what do you guys plan for this week? What have you got planned for this week? It's going to be a relatively quiet week this week, but I think next week is going to be busy for me. Um, I'm going to finish, no, I'm not. I'm going to continue planting stuff in the second green stock that I have. I'm not going to say I'm going to finish because I have some things that I started the seeds elsewhere and I just am not ready to move them over. And so there's that. And then I'm going to I need to work on my sweet potatoes. So I didn't think I was getting any sweet potato slips. This rain, but this rain. So what I did for my sweet potatoes, I probably should talk about it in a video, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I took an Asian sweet potato and a purple sweet potato. I'm trying to think if I put a regular one out there too. I not just put them in the garden and covered them halfway up. Just laid it down on the soil, covered it halfway with soil, and walked away from it. And it's in one of my videos where it says, "Oh yeah, there's some potatoes down there that I put down to make slips," and I didn't think it was working because I just didn't think it worked. And I said, "Oh, this is gonna rot." I think the purple one did rot, but I also took a purple sweet potato and an Asian sweet potato and put them in a paper bag, and they're sitting over there somewhere. And I said, well, if they don't go one way, I'll get some slips another way. What I did not do is put any of them in water. Oh yeah, and a regular sweet potato I put in a paper bag. So I got I got slips. I got slips everywhere. I got slips in the paper bags. I got slips on the potatoes are sitting over on the table. I got the slips in the potatoes outside. The ones outside are huge. The pieces are huge. So but anyways, long story short, I do have slips now. I have slips for the Asian potato. I'm hoping I get some of those because those are my favorite ones. Those are the purple skin with the white inside. Oh, that's my favorite sweet potato. And I don't know why, but it is. I'm hoping that I get some of those, but I've got several slips, and so I'm going to put them in a couple different places. And if I don't get anything else, I'll get some greens, some leaves. I'll eat the leaves. But yeah. But that's one of the things I have to do this week is put those in. And in order to put those in, I've got to clean out the bed that they're going to go in because, well, not the whole bed, but a portion of that bed needs to be cleaned out because they need room. They need room. And so I'm going to do that and get those over there. And so finish that green stalk, do the sweet potatoes, and then I think I have some seeds. I think I have some seeds in the mail coming. Maybe I might have bought some more seeds, perhaps. And when they get here, I need to drop some seeds. But it's a full moon, y'all. Is today's a full moon? I think today's a full moon. Let me see. Let's see. What's today's moon phase? Let's see if I can get Nightbot to do that. Today's full moon. Is it tomorrow? When is the full moon? No, it's not. Hold up. It's not the full moon? Today, tomorrow. Yesterday. Okay. Okay. Stop. Yesterday was a full moon. What day is it? Monday was the full moon. Yes, y'all. It's the full moon. It's a flower moon. Cool. Let's get up yesterday. Hold on a second. Some people know. I don't even know. Yesterday was a full moon. Full moon, 100%. And it's a full moon in Scorpio? Is it Scorpio? Jeez. Hold on, y'all, because it's full moon phase today. In Scorpio. I'm very confused. I should go outside and look at the moon. Yeah, well, the 12th. Yeah, today was, yeah, Monday the 12th was a full flower moon. It was a full moon in Scorpio. Let me just tell y'all about full moon in Scorpio. So I'm not going to tell you much because I don't know much. Scorpio is a water sign. So Hmm. And Scorpio, the scorpion has a stinger. So you might be moving through something um, deep, murky waters, and it might be work. It might be hard. It may be difficult. There you go. That's all I know. That's it. That's the whole thing. A full moon in Scorpio, y'all. So a full moon is for planting. You plant root vegetables on a full moon. So beets, turnips, kohlrabi. They kind of have. They're not really a root vegetable, but they have a bulb. Um, what's some other things? Radishes, rutabagas, root vegetables, carrots, parsnip, things that grow underground, peanuts. And on a new moon, you plant things that fruit above ground. Um, and if you're like me, you plant all things on all moons because I don't know when the best time to plant anything is, but for me, was there's a saying. There's a saying. Was it the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, 50 years ago. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So the best time to plant your root vegetables is on a full moon. The second best time is now. That's with anything now, is to do it now. Um, and that's the way I feel about it. It's like, oh, it's a full moon. I can plant some carrots today. Okay. And I can plant some onions today. And, and I can plant some green beans today. And I can plant some collards today. Right. I agree on trees. The best time to plant trees was 20 years ago. Exactly. But the second best time is today. If you didn't plant them 20 years ago, so what? Plant another tree. And if that's a fruit tree, that's good too. If it's not a fruit tree, but if it's a timber tree, plant some timber trees. If you got the acreage, plant some trees. Um, that's one thing that I wish I could have talked my brothers and sisters into doing, was putting some trees on the land where my parents' property. My parents had some property, and I was like, we should just put some trees on it. We don't do nothing else with that property. We should put some trees on it. Dang it! I'm still here, y'all. My signal got weak for a minute. It does it every time, right about the same time. But yeah. But I mean, but that's the way I feel about planting in the garden too. Um, the best time to plant um, things. Sometimes you can't plant things all at all times, but sometimes you have a little bit way more leeway than you think you do. And things grow a lot faster than you think they're gonna grow. And so, like, I planted I planted cucumbers and green beans. A minute. I planted cucumbers and green beans in the ground and in the green stalk at the same time. The ones in the green stalk are this big. The ones in the ground are this big. Probably moisture. It's probably moisture. It may be sun too. I'm gonna have to go in and they're in the shade. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a good time to plant cucumbers because the ones in the ground didn't do that great, because the one in the green stalks did fine. So maybe today is a better time to plant cucumbers in the ground, or not. Maybe the ones in the ground just needed, 3 days worth of rain and they'll be fine. So we'll see. I planted some other things out there too that I can't find. I planted some Korean melon and I don't know where I put it. I'm gonna plant some more. I'm gonna plant some more. I'm probably gonna plant it in the same place I planted it before because that's probably the only place I could have put it. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna plant some more. I might plant some tonight. I might start some tonight because I need. Um, what had happened was I went to the Asian market. Oh, squirrel. Uh-huh. I went to the Asian market and I bought a Korean melon, and they're cute. They're about yay big and they're good. They taste like oh yeah, yeah, you want to do that? Fine. They taste like honeydew, kind of like honeydew. Yes, I went ahead, I put bushy, I have a bushy cucumber. Actually, I put some of all of them. I put some of all of them in the green stock. I do have the supports that go around it, so if it vines and whatever, I can put those on there. Um, so I do have the supports, and I have chicken wire too. So if I need to, I've got chicken wire. I've got okay. I have stuff. I have jute. I have stuff that if I need to rig it, I can. Um, I got coat hangers. Look, I got coat hangers. You can with a coat hanger and a cigarette lighter and this is not a cigarette lighter, but a cigarette lighter and a coat hanger and a Swiss Army knife and yeah, you can do anything. I planted Edo's mini taro for my local Asian market in random places in my garden beds. We'll see where they pop up. Yes, my Asian market has Edo's too. And I almost got some, but I don't know how to fix them. I don't know how to cook them. That's another thing too. Y'all do not sleep on the Asian markets or international markets if you have them or whatever. Do not sleep on those markets if you have them in your your neighborhood, your city, your town, your whatever you wherever you live, because that's where I got my Asian sweet potatoes. That's where I got my Korean melon. I got the seeds out of the Korean melon. Yes, they're viable because they came up like in 2 days. So, but they had Edos, they had purple sweet potatoes there, they had Asian sweet potatoes, they had the regular sweet potatoes, they had the ruby sweet potatoes, and they had the Beauregard, whatever. You know which ones I'm talking about. They had both of the regular ones, the um, sweet potatoes there. Um, they have stuff. They got stuff there that you can grow in your garden. You can use it, um you can get yeah, that part. Um hey GT. So yeah, do not sleep on your Asian market if you have an Asian market. That's one of the things I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go to we have a new Indian market that's close to my house, but I'm going to go to that one first. And if they don't have what I want, then I'll go to the international market and they probably will have it. But I'm going to go and see if I can get some lemongrass because my lemongrass died, I think after all this rain, it might come back out. Who knows? Um, but it was in a container and it died. And so I'm gonna get some more lemongrass. Um, I think I don't know where my seed is. I had some seed, but I'm not sure where the seed actually is. So I think I might have ordered some more seed. Whatever. I'm gonna plant some by seed, but I'm also gonna see if I can get some and put that in the ground because I need some lemongrass. But yeah, don't sleep on the Asian markets, guys, because you can pick up, sometimes you can pick up like herbs, turmeric, ginger. They'll have both the white turmeric, the yellow turmeric, and the black turmeric or whatever. They'll have ginger. Um, and then different kinds of herbs sometimes they'll have, and a lot of them either are already rooted, even though that they're in the groceries, they're already rooted, or you can root them. So if it's an herb that you want to grow inside or something like that, you can just bring it home and you can go ahead and root it and stuff. And yeah, definitely can um, get some really good things from your Asian market. I was trying to think of something else that I got seeds for. Yeah, I definitely need to go to the Asian market tomorrow. I'm back, y'all. Glad you're still alive. I'm still here. What you working on tonight, GT Junior? Y'all, I uh-oh, my child. Okay. Um, you do that. Do you know where my child is? Oh, my child's on a road trip. He had to get some conversation so he could understand his role. Yeah, that's right. Understand. I'll have to try cucumbers. Look, Darth X, don't listen to me. Um, this is my first time having a green stalk, and I want a bunch of cucumbers. So I put cucumbers. I put cucumbers everywhere. Cucumbers everywhere. I put cucumbers everywhere. So yes, there's some in the green stalk. They're in both green stalks. I've got at least three different varieties out there, but I also put them in my beds in the ground. And at least two of the two different beds in the ground because I want cucumbers, and I have some in a container, um, because I want cucumbers, and they're gonna do well somewhere. They may not do well everywhere, but they're gonna do well somewhere. And I planted different kinds. I have bushy cucumbers, I have national pickle cucumbers, I have straight eights, I have market moors, and that might be all. They're just, but yeah, I got, oh no, bait alphas. I got bait alphas. So I have five different kinds, and I planted all of them. I have mouse melon seed somewhere here. Mouse melon, mouse melon. Is mouse melon the little one like cucamelons? I don't know mouse melon. Uh, Our weather keeps fluctuating, so my seeds are germinating outside. So I just put some in paper towels tonight. Yeah, I did some paper towel method. I did some. Um, I call it the mud pie method. I don't know what you call it. A sealed container. You take a sealed container, right? Not like this, but a sealed container, plastic container that has a lid on it. You don't put any drainage holes in it or anything. You put the soil in it and you get it as wet as a mud pie. And you put the seeds in it, put the top on it. And they germinate in those containers in just a couple of days. The mud pie method. I use that method. I like that method because once they germinate, I can just scoop them out in the soil and put them in one of these little dollar store. One of these little thing I get from dollar store. This is like 10 for 12 for $1.25. You put soil in here, scoop them out of there, stick them in there, and then I can sit them wherever. Right now they're sitting, some of them sitting on top of the green stalk. They're sitting here, they're yarn around the yard, and I germinate them outside, and so they don't have to, what's that word? They don't have to harden off. Um, Dragon fruit on paper towel today. Yeah. So yeah, I do that. But yeah, I call it the mud pie method. Actually, I don't call it the mud pie method, but when um when Sugar was doing the snail roll, she was like, "You wanted the consistency of a mud pie." I'm like, "Yeah, that's it, mud pie." Uh, I was trying to say because you put the soil in the container and you want it super wet. You don't want the water to be runny. You don't want it to run out of it, but you want it completely saturated. Way more than if you were watering something, it would be too wet. Um, and I don't put any drainage in it either. So yeah, I'm going to start some peppers and tomatoes in the 4-inch pots outside. Yeah, I've done that too. I just put them outside and with tomatoes, I have just literally had a pot outside with soil in it and go and squeeze the seeds into it and to see what will come up. And when they come up, I separate them. So I don't grow that many tomatoes. If I grew tomatoes, I wouldn't have room for anything else because when I see the tomatoes, first of all, there's a lot of tomatoes out there, a lot of different varieties of tomatoes out there. And I'm not a big tomato fan. I like a good grape tomato. And I like them in salads, whatever. But I just, I probably eat, I don't know, less than 100 tomatoes a year. And I'm talking grape tomatoes, not these tomatoes, grape tomatoes. Less than 100 a year, probably less. Yeah, easily less than. So I'm just not a big tomato fan. And I don't know if I would eat more tomatoes if I grew more tomatoes, but I wasted so much time on tomatoes last year that gave me nothing, gave me blooms and nothing. Mm, yeah. I want some tomatoes, but I don't want to deal with them. Tomatoes and peppers. I have some peppers um, that I started. I started some with the mud pie method, and I started some in in these pots. Because I will start seeds in these pots too, because these pots are the size that they will fit in. The seedling seed starter trays that come like the little, I think they're like green on the bottom and they have a clear dome on the top. Well, if you don't use the starter tray, I don't like to use them because for me they're too small. You have to transplant them too soon. If you take these, I think 6 or 8 of these will fit in that same container, and you can put the same dome over the top of it. I put them in soil, and then but you can leave them in there after the true leaves come on. You can take the dome and put the whole thing outside or whatever. And so for me, they go from here to the final spot. So it saves me a space from. Look, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm sitting here looking. I'll be right back. Looking right here. This. To me, this is too small. So I don't want to use that because when it goes from here, the root is going to be the root's going to be it's not going to be root bound, but the root's going to be filling up this space quick. And so you don't have that much time between the time you put it in here, it germinates, and the time you need to move it into something bigger, right? So instead of starting in here, I started in the bigger one. I started in something bigger to begin with, and then I've got this much space for my root to develop instead of this much space for my root to develop. And then when it's developed, it's ready to go. That's what I'm saying. But I think I picked up this one. Actually, this is 2. This is actually 2. And these don't have the holes in them. So I might use these to start some hydroponics. Put the little things in here, put the seeds in there, and put them under the light and start them for my hydroponic units. And then as they germinate, put them in the unit that I want them to be in. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about it because I don't, or I might just give these away to somebody because I mean they don't have a hole in it, but you can put a hole in it. It has the place for it. You can put a hole in it easily. Actually, there's two or three. That's just two. I also have the trays that these sit in with the tops on them, but I use the trays and the tops for other stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I think I would do that because I was watching my Renaissance grandma and the new unit that she got is a dry DRYAL dry L brand. The new unit that she got for her present, I forgot what she got it for. I think it was maybe a birthday or something. Um, has a second set of lights underneath it, and it has a little container that you can put the plugs in there and start stuff underneath it. I was like, what? Where did she get that? And I saw the unit. I was like, that's a great idea. Now, I don't know about the unit. I don't think it's in my price point, but for starting stuff, that's a good idea. So I might, I don't know. I might, I don't know. I may just try something. Never know. She did. Her video. It's yes, she did a video, but it was not. It wasn't recently. It was like maybe a couple of months ago. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. It's a video. It's a video on her. I don't know whether she said it was her new hydroponic unit or my birthday present or I bought myself a present or something like that. Right, that's what it was. She got one and it was a scam, she said, and she had to send it back and it was replaced. And the one she got, yep. Exactly right, Mike. If I could remember which video it was, I'd put the link in here, but I don't remember. I don't know. It'd take me a minute to find it. Um, but yeah, I thought it was, I'm like, that's a good idea. I like that idea. And then I saw somebody else. Oh, um, Miss Gail. Someone gave her a unit and it's the same brand, but hers was different. I don't think hers had the little light, the second light under the bottom. So it had the regular light on top that, goes up that is adjustable. But the way it was made, the base had legs that came out on the sides and there was lights under the bottom so that you could slide a tray up under it and start seedlings with that light underneath. And once they were started, you could pull that tray out and take those seedlings and put them. So yeah. So yeah. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember the name of the video, or I don't remember what it was called. I guess I could look for it and put the link. If I find it, I'll put the link in the description box after the video. Dang. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, like I said, she did have a video on it. I just don't remember what the name of the video was. But if I find the link, if I find it here sometime soon, I will like I said, I'll put the link in the description of this in the description of this live stream, in the description box later. Okay. Mike said, "Go ahead. I'll find it." Like I said, it was maybe a couple months ago. Um, y'all, if y'all notice, I'm one of those people who will I watch a bunch of videos at one time. So if I'm watching like if I'm watching videos, I may watch videos back to back to back. And I might get on a tangent. So like if I'm watching videos on your channel, I may go to a playlist and watch videos that have to do with hydroponics, or videos that have to do with harvesting, or videos that have to do with crafting, whatever I'm watching at the time. I'll go ahead and I will, I'll watch a bunch of videos at one time. Um and so I was watching her video of what did she do? She did a update, a hydroponic update, and she was showing, what she had growing and what she was putting somewhere. I don't know. She was showing something else, and she was like, um, "Go watch my so and so video, because that shows you when I got my unboxing of this unit." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so that's what I did. I went and watched that video. And it's like, and I think I had seen it, but I don't know. It stood out to me this time. So yeah, that part. And it's funny because I don't really I don't specifically limit my time. No, let me say what I said. Let me put it this way. I don't specifically limit my time on social media, but I limit my exposure to certain things on social media. So if I'm watching videos, I may be watching specific kinds of videos. Like I won't necessarily watch one person. There's certain people who I rarely watch their videos because the energy in the room doesn't suit well with me, and that's me. It's more about me. Some things may set off my triggers or whatever, or something like that. The other thing is, anyways, those things. So I'm not specifically saying I'm not gonna be on YouTube, or I'm not gonna be on TikTok or whatever for hours and hours and hours, because I might. Sometimes I'll put it on the TV. I'm doing other things, so I have it going the whole time. But other times it's like, ugh, I just cannot. And then it'll be days, and you won't see me in any live streams. You won't see me leaving no messages. You won't see me anywhere. I just won't be around, because I've had it up to here with everything that's going on in the world, and it's like, yeah, I'm sinking. I need to get my head above water again. Speaking of head above water, did y'all seen this? Ugh, I can't. I know it's gonna be. I'm probably gonna get tagged for what do they call it? Um, reuse content. Um, if I show it. There's a video. Have y'all seen this video of this guy? Hold on. Hold on. Pause it. Pause. I can't get it to pause. There's this video of this guy. I think he's a swim coach. Look. Okay, that's all I'm gonna show. I'm not gonna show any more of it. Okay, I'm gonna show a little bit more of it because it's not long. It's a Instagram, and there's also sounds with it. Anyways, that is that is so funny to me. That is hilarious. I'm like, when I come across videos like that, I will get off of my phone and go do something. That is very inspirational and that is motivational for me to go do something because that means you've been scrolling too long. Get off the phone. You've been scrolling way too long. Oh, okay. Mike just dropped it in there. Mike, is it a link, Mike? Is it showing up as a link? I can't tell on my side. But yeah, Mike just dropped the link to the video. How to work like a fish. I was like, that guy in like 30 seconds taught me more about swimming than I learned in all the classes that I ever took. I was like, I never knew how you did that. And even like the flip turn, it wasn't really the flip turn, but the way he went, not like this. Yeah. Oh, the one I'm talking about is not a short. It's not a short, Mike. It's a full length video. I thought. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought it was a full length video. I didn't think it was a short. Hold on a second. Maybe it was. No, it was not. It was called Vlogmas. Was it Vlogmas Day 22? Yes. It's this one. Hold on. This one. Y'all see that? Oh, okay. Yeah, she did a full video on hold on. There you go. Vlogmas Day 22 of unboxing that unit. Um, but I didn't realize she had done a short too. Okay. And it's Dryades is the company. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for dropping the link to that. I just thought it was a good idea. And she was, when she did the video where she was updating us on her hydroponic units and she pulled a little thing out, I was like, where did she get that little container that is a perfect size? I was like, it's the perfect size for those little plugs and everything. I was like, dang it. And I went to the company site to see if they sold that. I'm like, I want that. That piece right there. I don't want the whole unit. I just want that little container right there. But anyways, that is what it is. Well, but anyway, I appreciate you dropping the link, Mike. But anyway, that yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If sometimes you find a video and it's just what you needed to see, but sometimes you find a video and it is just what you needed to see to tell you it is time to get off the internet. It's time to stop scrolling. There was this one video I saw the other day. Yeah, yeah. Where this guy it was a bread machine. Stop scrolling, stop scrolling. So that's my only beef with systems that do multiple things. One part goes bad and the whole thing is ruined. Yeah, that is true. But it is a cool concept. And that's the thing too, because I have a unit that's a dud. Um, it was a dud out of the box, but I left it in the box for so long that I didn't really have any paperwork to send it back because I probably should have sent it back. But it was a dud out of the box. It works. I went ahead and bought some, what you call it, air stones, an air stone to put in it to use. So it's still, I'm getting used. The lights work on it, and so the lights. If the lights didn't work, I probably would have sent it back. But the lights work. I'm good. I am good, and it's good. It's growing food. So yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about getting another one of those muck. I forgot. Yeah, that one. I can't even say the word. My mind. What's wrong with my MUFGA mug? Oh no, it's only 7 left in stock. Well, too bad, too bad. How sad, how sad. Usually that does not motivate me. That one, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about getting another one. Remember TVs with built-in VCRs? Yes, I do remember them. I never had one. For some reason, I went for the cheap VCRs, the little ones like this, because it was portable. And we would take that VCR and tapes everywhere because you could plug it into a TV in a hotel room or in, whatever, when you were traveling. And so with the kids, we'd take VCR tapes when they were little, when they were preschool age. We had a bunch, well, VCRs and yeah, they were mostly VCR tapes and some DVDs. Um, but mostly VCRs. And so I had the little units that you could just throw in a backpack and you could, hook it up to any monitor or anything like that. And those were nice. Those were nice and they were handy. We did not do the thing where they watched movies in the car, but um, yeah, um, when we traveled, we would take movies with us to watch. And it was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed watching movies with my kids. We still watch movies together. When they come home, we'll watch a movie. Um, Usually it's on, Netflix or Tubi or something. One of them channels. I don't know what those things are. It's up to the kids. I tell them find something. If you want to watch a movie together, find something. We'll watch it. Set it up. And it's so funny to me because do you know kids travel with systems now? When my grands come, they have a big monitor, TV, whatever, and a game system that comes with them. Hmm. When my son comes home, and a game system. Hmm. Not only that, and a laptop because he's going to take the laptop and hook it up and play a movie from his laptop, and he's going to project it onto his dad's big TV, and then he's going to have the game set up to the screen that he brought with him. He's going to have that set up in another room, and he's going to be between the two rooms watching a movie and playing the game. I never liked the all-in-one PCs either. Me neither. Uh-uh. But yeah, I was like, when did that happen? When did people start traveling with game stations, with, PlayStations, Xboxes, whatever you play? And when did people start traveling with them? You bring the game with you when you go places? It's like that part, I don't know. But they do. They do. Check out Sandrine's channel. Purple Crochet and More with Trini. Mm. My shoulders are getting tired. Actually, I'm getting tired. I'm not going to do much tomorrow. I do want to run over to the um, Asian market and see if I can pick up some lemongrass. But other than that, oh, y'all, I should wait and show it in a video, but I'm not because I'm here now. I have a captive audience. Actually, I don't have a captive audience. You can leave at any time. But I thought my yarrow was dead. It's in a small ceramic pot, which I don't know why I put it in that, um, but it's in a small ceramic pot. And it was just about to bloom. I think I showed a video where I showed that had the bloom. The bloom was just about to open on it. And for whatever reason, I missed watering it one day and it dried out. And it was like, oh my God, it's dead. And so I watered the pot, whatever, put it over the side and didn't think anything about it. This morning, I looked at that pot and it had all the tops were brown, but there was two little sprigs of green that came up from the root. I love perennial plants. I love perennial plants because that yarrow is actually, I planted it last year and it made it all the way through the winter. And like I said, it was getting ready to flower. It had a little white bloom. It was so pretty on it. And I was like, man, I can't believe I kept it all this time and then missed watering it and it just died. But it's good. It's good. It's still alive. Um, I already planted some more in the green stock anyway, though. I had already dropped the seeds in the green stock. I'm like, look, I gotta drop some more of these seeds. But yeah, I'm excited. Um, cool. I love yarrow. They always come back, even in a container. If it had been in the ground, I wouldn't have been worried about it if it had died back. But it was in a container, and it was a small ceramic container, and so it had like the little built-in drainage tray. So it doesn't really hold that much water. It's got, that it's one of the painted ceramic, a cute one. That part. So yeah. But I have never grown it before. This is my first time growing it, and I don't know much about using it. I have to look it up and see, what it's used for and everything. But yeah, guess what came back in my line? Greek oregano. Oregano is a ground cover. I have a bed that I really want to put the oregano in because I want the oregano to just take over the whole bed. But I'm afraid it'll get out of the bed. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I used to have some oregano growing in my backyard, but I think eventually the mowing got it. Because it was like where my garden was before. It's so weird. Before my garden was over there by where my cypress tree is. Y'all know my big cypress tree in the backyard. And over there I had I had some oregano that was in the ground. It was more of the square foot garden method. It was in ground, and I just had some landscape timbers on the borders of it, and oregano and chives, and that oregano spread and spread and spread, and then eventually we stopped gardening over there, and the cypress started getting big and bigger and bigger, and it's basically the cypress has shaded out about half of the area where the garden was. So where the oregano was is really pretty shady now, and so it's not any left. There's a few the chives there. The only thing that returns for me is peppermint. Yeah, my peppermint and spearmint, I've had it for years and years, and it keeps coming back. Um, I love a whole I love a whole yard of chives. Yeah, I don't have any chives right now. I've got some bunching onions out there, but I don't have any chives. I need to plant some. I've got a cypress in a container. I better plant it in the ground soon. I have a cypress in a container too, Dr. X. I last last year, was it last year? Anyways, a cypress was coming up in one of my garden beds. And my garden beds are all in ground. They're they are, they have the borders on them, but they don't have a barrier underneath. So they basically, anything in it can grow down beyond what soil I have in it. So I don't have a whole bunch of soil in it. I have like maybe 3 inches of soil in one, and maybe 6 inches of soil in the other, maybe 3 inches of soil, maybe 3 inches of soil in two of them, and 6 inches of soil in the other. So they grow into the ground. But anyways, the cypress was coming up in there, and I dug it up and put it in a pot. Now I have a cypress in a pot that's too small for it, and it's flagging on the edges. All the that's what it's called when the tips start dying back. It's called flagging, and so it's flagging on the edges, and it's flagging because it needs a bigger pot. And I don't know if I want another cypress in the backyard. I was like, I don't know if I want another cypress back there or not. I don't know what to do with it. I guess I could take it out of the pot. Clean the roots off really good. Pack them with some paper, shredded paper. And pack it up and send it to somebody as a gift. Anybody want a cypress? How big is that thing? It's probably 3.5 feet tall. I don't know what to do with it. If I have room for another tree in my backyard, I want it to be one that produces food. I have a giant cypress back there already that I can't keep up with the trimming on it. It's growing on my neighbor's fence and blah 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 blah. Um, yeah, yeah, that part. And the thing about it is that cypress that I have, the one in the backyard, is I got it. I want to say it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm almost certain it was Home Depot. And it was the old Home Depot before they built the new one, because it was before they built the new road. But we were out there one day and we were about to check out, and I saw it over in the corner, and it was like, and they had a price on it. It was a reasonable price, like $6 or something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, but it was like, I don't know how much it was, but it was, 5 foot tall. And I was like, what? Gorilla planting it. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna call my friend and ask if he wants one. I have a friend who's a forester who has lots of land. He may have a spot for him. Ask him if he wants one. But yeah, it was like 5 foot tall. It was in a container, and it was like it looked like somebody had thought about buying it and took it up to the register and then decided that they didn't want it because it was the only one there and it had a decent price on it. And I was like, "Ooh, let's get that." We didn't go looking for it. We were not looking to buy a tree at all. We just happened to be in the garden center. We might have been buying soil for the garden because we were gardening back then. There's nothing. We could have been buying Quikrete, or sand or something. And there's no telling what we were doing. But yeah, and it's my favorite tree back there. It's huge. It is absolutely huge. Now, what I wish, y'all, I wish I knew somebody who had a portable sawmill and could take that tree down and saw it up into boards. Because cypress is some beautiful wood. Then I'd plant another one. Is it the lemon? It's a bald cypress. Just a plain old bald cypress, native to here. Nope. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful. In the fall, the leaves turn orangey, burnt orange, um, before they drop, and then drops all of its leaves after that, and needles because it's a conifer. It drops all of its needles, and so it has none during the winter time, and then it comes back in the spring, and it's full and pretty, and I love it. I think it's I love it as a landscaping tree, and I like it when a lot of places around here use them for landscaping. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I also like it, native. If you are driving along the highway, there's a lot of swamps that have cypress in it. And you can see them in the fall of the year. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Gorilla planting of it somewhere. I'm gonna have to call. Let me send my friend a message and ask if they want a cypress tree. Because I hate for it to die, and I've had it this many years, and it's been doing so well. But they've got plenty of land out there. Did you see the pine cone pics my wife took on my community page? I did not, but I will go back and look. I will go back and look. Pine cones. What kind of pines? What kind of pine cones? What kind of pines? I do have two pine trees back there as well. It was from my front yard tree that the squirrels live in. That squirrel was disrespectful. You need to have a conversation with that squirrel. What did GT Junior say? You need to have a conversation and let him know what's what. Being disrespectful. Yeah. So they understand. Yeah. So they can understand their role. Because that was not their role. To be jumping on, jumping on that hummingbird feeder. But yeah. I have no idea. I don't know trees. You guys up there, you guys have I don't know, red pine, Scots pine. I don't know. I don't know because I didn't go. I'm a grit. Y'all know what grits are. Girls raised in the South. I'm a grit. So I'm not sure what pines you guys have up there, but I know which ones you don't have up there. You don't have longleaf pine, um, which is what I have in my backyard. I hope these dragon fruit seeds germinate. Wet paper towel method. I need to try to germinate some passion fruit. I had passion fruit last year. It died. I want to try to germinate some more. I may have to just buy some plants, but I have some seeds, and so I'm gonna try to germinate them. I don't know if they will germinate or not. If but yeah, I would love to have a passion fruit that produces dragon fruit. I don't think I can handle dragon fruit because I'm not growing anything inside, and they are cold sensitive, seriously cold sensitive, and so I don't think, um, even though we're not gonna get but 7 days of cold, the 7 days is gonna be too much for it, and I just yeah, I'm barely gonna make it with my citrus this year because everything is getting big enough that I don't know if I can be able to pull them into the garage and keep them going all winter long. Because I almost lost my kumquat. I'm gonna have to do a short video here in the next day or two. It's coming out. It's coming back. It's looking decent, but it dropped all of its leaves. I thought it was a goner for sure, but it's looking better. So yeah, that part. I thought I lost that kumquat, and it produced. Oh my goodness, it's already produced. Its money's worth. Um, Probably, yeah. It's probably I'll produce what this money's worth, and that's just the first year I had it. So yeah, my lemon and my lime are in bloom. I'm excited about that. Um, but they were in bloom when I got them, and um, then they dropped their blooms during the winter in the garage because not ideal conditions in there, but they stayed alive, and then they're in bloom now again now, so that's excited. But I am gonna harvest some of the leaves off of my lemon and my lime tree because you can use the leaves in teas. You can use them to flavor oils and things like that. I'm not gonna harvest a lot of them, but I'm gonna harvest a few of the leaves because it does have some of that natural limonene oil. I think that's what it's called um, in there. But yeah, I'm excited about the lemon and the lime. I finally got them. And who was it? Somebody told me about those being on sale too, and I happened to get over there and um at the Orange Box store is what we call it. I happened to get over there one day and get them. And it's so funny because while I was there, I ended up getting. That's why I hate to go to the store. First of all, I am a while I'm here person. I really am not much of a shopper, but when I go to the store for a specific thing, while I'm there, I will spend all the money. I will spend all the money while I'm there. And while I was there, I picked up an apple tree because, well, the apple trees were right beside the lemon and the limes, right? And they were looking pretty good. And they had a decent price. And why not? I wish I had seen the video. There's a video of a guy. I think it might be on TikTok. Um of a guy talking about what you should do when you buy a tree from the big box stores. And one of the things that he does is he cuts the top out of the tree right there on the lot before he even tries to put it in his vehicle. He said, it's too big, it's not going to fit in there anyway, and you need to prune it down to this point already. And he cuts it down to that point. And I was like, man, I wish I had known about that when I bought my tree because my tree is very tall and it was literally I had to lay the back seat down forward, lay the front seat all the way back and put the tree in the top through the front door, pushing it all the way to the back so it would fit in the car. And it's like if I had cut that top off in the parking lot, if I had pruned that tree right then we wouldn't have had this problem. But I saw it on, I think it was on TikTok. This guy was, it's a whole series of videos by the same guy. And he talks about when and how to prune fruit trees. So it talks about apples, pears, peaches, plums, even grapes. I think he talks about pruning them, when to prune them, how to prune them. And he was saying, when he was one of the things he was saying about apple trees is the ones when you go to the big box stores and you buy the trees that um, it's probably almost too tall for what you were looking for. And in order to get it to grow and produce fruit where you can reach it, this is one of the first cuts you have to make. And then it tells you, well, and then what do you do the second year? Well, then you prune it like this the second year. And what do you do the third year? Then you prune it like this. And it tells you what time of the year to prune it and everything. But I forgot what his name is. If look, I'm gonna have to put some stuff into the description box. Let me write this down in the description box of this video because things came up. Yeah, things came up. So, but if I can find it, I'll put it in there because I think he might have a channel on YouTube as well. In fact, I don't know if I can find it at all because I haven't been on TikTok in forever and a day. But anyways, y'all, Yeah. I'm hungry. Suddenly hungry. What's that all about? I don't know. Did I tell y'all I cooked my peas today? Yeah, I did say something about it. I should have made a video. How do y'all cook green peas? Do y'all grow green peas? So I grew three types of green peas this year. Um, the purple magnolia pea, and I need to look that one up because I think that is one where you can eat the pod. Folded all the seeds down and had a tree friend sticking its branches out the passenger windows. Snow peas. Okay. Snow peas are the ones where you eat the whole pod and the pea part is very, very small. Um, versus sweet peas, where you eat the pea, not the pod. And the peas can get big, much bigger than snow peas, right? Okay. But I think the magnolia pea might be a one that you can eat the pod too, because the pod is kind of fleshy. It's thick, but it's fleshy. It's not like thick and tough. And I thought, you might just cook the whole pod on this one. And I didn't cook any of the pods on the magnolia one. I just shelled them. Um, but I did, yeah. I'm gonna look it up and see because next year when I grow them, I'm gonna see. But so I like to make peas and potatoes. I don't know if any other people like to make peas and potatoes like I do, but I like to make the peas and the potatoes. Oh, yeah. So with the sweet peas, we call where I grew up, we called them May peas. And anyways, I grew through different varieties this year, and I've cooked some of all of them. Some of them mixed together, and some of them separate. But the ones today that I cooked them. I cooked them with some ground beef. So I cooked the ground beef, brown the ground beef with onions and garlic. Once it was brown, I added the sweet peas to that and some water. And I let them cook until they were as tender as I wanted them, just under as tender as I wanted them. And then I diced up some potatoes, tiny diced potatoes, teeny tiny diced potatoes. I didn't because I didn't want chunks. I wanted it to cook really fast. And I threw the potatoes in it and I cooked the potatoes until they were done and the water reduced. And oh, it was so good. So it's kind of like a stew almost. It's almost like a stew, meat and potato stew with peas in it. So it's almost like, you know what? It's like shepherd's pie. If you made this all of it separately and then you layered it and you put cheese on it and baked it, it would be shepherd's pie. I didn't put cheese in it. But I cooked it. It had the ground beef, it had the potatoes, and it had the peas. That's pretty funny. Is that called shepherd's pie or is that called look, I don't know. I don't know. That part. I still have cowpeas. I have a bunch of cowpeas too. I don't know. There's two different pie kind of things. Cottage pie. That's what some people call it cottage pie. Some people call it shepherd's pie. One of them you make with like English peas, I think, and the other one you make with I don't know. You know what? Y'all get the drift, right? Y'all know what I'm saying. But yeah, it was kind of like a cottage pie. Oh, one has lamb and one has beef. That's what it is. But anyways, this one it was a one pot meal. It was not a pie. I didn't bake it and I didn't put the cheese in it, but it was those flavors mixed together. The meat flavored with the onions and garlic and adding the peas to it, and then the potatoes made it really nice and creamy and It was like a stew. It was nice. I might do a video because this is the thing. I watched this YouTuber. Her name is Beryl. Shoot. And her last name just left me. I forget what Beryl's last name is. Share whatever. share something ski. I can't even say it. Anyways, I watched this YouTuber. Here she has her name. Beryl. Okay. And I watched her video. She did a video on peas, how people eat peas. And it's so funny. One of the ways that people eat peas is like it's a creamed pea, and they serve it. I think they serve it over, I can't remember, over potatoes. It's either over potatoes or noodles or something. But anyways, yeah. But she does a thing on. She had a video on how, actually two, I think, on maybe one or two, on how people eat peas, and so it was interesting to see the different recipes. Now, am I going to try those? No, because a lot of them were too involved. There was one where they she pulsed them and made like a, almost like a paste, and then she made a bread, and she filled the bread with the peas and then fried it. I'm like, okay, that's too much work. That is way too much work. And the funny thing is, I don't mind making bread. I make bread. If I'm gonna have bread, I make it because I don't buy bread anymore. So yeah. Mushy peas over potatoes with gravy. Yeah. And that might have been it. I mean, it was one of some of these recipes that she had were, they were comfort food, and it was like, that sounds good. But the one with the cream in it, she made a roux, and then she put the peas in it and cooked them. But I think these she used frozen peas, so I'm thinking they were pre-cooked, and so they only had to be heated. But anyway, she put the peas in there, and then I don't remember what she served them over, but it might have been over potatoes. It looks really good. It looked really good. That roux looked really good, and then she put, I think, Parmesan. Anyways, there was some nice recipes over there. I was like, I was like, that one sounds like too much work. That one's pretty easy, pretty simple. Um, but yeah, but my favorite way to eat them is to cook the peas until they are almost mushy, and then add potatoes, dice up potatoes, and cook them in it, and add a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, and they're so good. The potatoes just makes it creamy. Ugh, so good. Um, so good. Oh, I think it had braised lamb. I think that's what hers. I don't remember. Y'all go watch her. Go watch her. Go look over there, look and see what she got. She's got lots of videos on lots of different foods. And if I'm growing something, I will look and see if Beryl has done a video on it. She's done videos on sweet potatoes. Actually, she's done videos on pretty much everything, all foods that you can think of. She's like, I think she's got like a series on toast. It's like, really? You can do a whole series on toast? Yeah, a whole series on toast. But I will look if there's a video that if there's a vegetable that I'm like, I wonder how other people eat this vegetable. Let's see if Beryl has a video on that, because she does videos from around the world. I hated things like peas growing up because my mom was an awful cook. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not big on cow peas. I can eat black eyed peas, but I don't really like them. I can eat pink eyed purple whole peas, but they're not my favorite. But I think of them as more of a survival food. So I always, I will never go hungry. She can open a can, dump it in a pocket, and cook it into the water was green. And the peas turn. Is that a thing, Mike? Is that really a thing? But yeah, yeah. I can't relate to that. I just can't relate to that. How can you not be a cook? Don't you? Well, I do. Take that back. I can relate. I can understand. Some people are blessed with the ability to relate to food as fuel, and I call it a blessing. And the reason I call it a blessing is because if you relate to food as fuel, you will never overeat. You will never have eating disorders. You know what I'm saying? You will never, anyways. Right. She'd burn meat until it was crunchy. Yeah. You will never, because if it's just fuel, then the taste doesn't really matter. And that being the case, I mean, you can get your fuel in any way you want. I kind of see food is way more than that. Food is like, I don't know. It's like to me, I don't see food as fuel at all. I mean, yes, you eat because you're hungry and because you need nutrients. That's a byproduct for me. Food in itself is really entertainment. I mean, I wanted to wake up. I want to take a bite and go, "Ooh, that is good." I want to feel some kind of way about it, you know? But yeah. And so, yeah, it's enjoyable. She honestly believed raw vegetables and juicy meats were toxic. Oh, no, let me just tell you, um, I don't know how old your mom is, but I wasn't allowed fresh vegetables. My mom was big on fresh vegetables, but I can say that a lot of people who were older than me. So I think about people my mom's age. A lot of the food was not good. So the meat maybe was not fresh, as fresh as it could be, and so you had to cook it, or it was tainted in some way or another. So you had to cook meat. You had to cook meat done. If you didn't cook your meat done, you could get seriously ill. And and vegetables were cooked to death. Vegetables were cooked to death. I can't. It's so funny. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't like cabbage growing up, is because people boiled cabbage. And I'm like, why would you do that to a cabbage? But the time it's left, it's just stinky water. It has no flavor or nothing. It's just stinky water because it's been cooked so much. It's stinky, mushy water. And a lot of vegetables were cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked. My mom, thank goodness my mom did not cook like that, because if she did, I would never, hear me, never have eaten a vegetable in my life. So yeah, my mom's cooking was bad too. Boiled veggies until they were dead. Um, yeah, and I really do think it was a time. It was part of the times where sometimes food was they had food shortages, and the food that was available maybe was not the freshest, and the best thing that you could do was to cook it really well done. Y'all, wow. My mom's wow. My mom was a great cook. My mom was known. Actually, my mom worked for the Agricultural Extension Service. She was an extension homemaker. And part of her job was to help people do meal planning and food preparation. She taught canning, pressure canning. She taught canning, food preparation, food preservation, but she also taught meal planning with the subsidized foods. I don't know if y'all remember, you probably remember government cheese, but I don't know if you remember any of the other subsidized foods. There was a lot. There was flour and there's cornmeal, peanut butter, butter, um, beans. I think there was beans. There was a bunch of government subsidized food, and it just came with labels that said USDA. Her job was to teach people how to use those foods and make them to meals, and she taught people how to make them good meals. It's like, yeah, you can use this stuff and you can make this. I mean, you got government flour, we're making yeast rolls. Yep. And she taught people how to make yeast rolls, um, Parker House rolls. Yeah. It's so funny. She was known for being a good cook. She was a good cook. She was a good cake baker. She was a good baker. My mom didn't make a lot of pies. She made pies on occasion, but she made cakes. Um, while I watched TV instead of cooking. Well, we didn't have that much TV to watch, so even so weird are her anti-fresh food hatred. Yeah, yeah. The fresh food. I guess if you, it depends on where you live. I grew up in the country, and so we had a big garden, and we grew all of our vegetables, and so we knew they were good quality food. But I guess if you grew up in the city and you didn't have access to good fresh quality vegetables, you might want to cook your vegetables a little bit more. I don't know. Or if you don't like vegetables, that's the other thing. If you don't like vegetables, if you cook it long enough till it don't taste like nothing, and then you salt it enough, yeah, you can tell yourself you had a vegetable. But yeah, I think my mom wanted to watch television instead of cooking. My mom loved to cook. My mom got up every morning, 5, and we almost always had either hot biscuits or hot rolls. She'd get up and make a batch of rolls in a minute, or make a pan of biscuits in a minute. We always, every morning, we had a hot breakfast. Um, yeah, we did have cereal in the house, but cereal wasn't considered a breakfast. It was a snack. Um, it was just a snack. And you had a hot breakfast. There was always a pot of rice on the stove. There was always some meat in the morning, whether it was ham, sausage, bacon, something. There was some kind of meat, pork chop. There was some kind of meat. Um, and if you wanted an egg, she'd cook you an egg um, to go with it. There were always sweet potatoes, baked sweet potatoes available. So, if you got up in the morning and you just wanted some bacon and sweet potatoes, that was your breakfast. You could have that. But you had, rice. Um, on occasion we had grits, but we weren't a big grit family. But yeah, even but yeah, my mom she was definitely an excellent cook. Um, and was known for it, in the community. Um, People would pay her to make um, rolls for them if they were having events and they wanted rolls. She had to pay her to make them. Cakes, they pay her to make cakes for them. People would call in advance to say, I'm going to be in the area, in 2 weeks. Can you make me this? Can you make me that? Different things that she was known for making. And people would drop in and she'd feed you. If you dropped in the house, your name was in a pot. There was always enough food to fix you a plate, and people were like, "Ooh." They would come over and they would eat. But yeah, and I grew up. Um, I grew up cooking. I don't remember learning how to cook. I just don't remember a time when I didn't cook. So, even when I was small enough that I had to, um, have something to stand on because I couldn't reach the table or the counter or whatever. Yeah, I've been cooking as long as I can remember. So I have no idea when I actually started cooking. And my mom's not the only one who could cook either. I mean, I'm not saying that she was the only one to cook, but um, there were lots of people in our neighborhood, in our circle who cooked and cooked well. Um, and I ate at everybody's house. Cause like I told you, food was food was entertainment. Food was love. Food was family. It literally, I remember eating Great Northern beans and biscuits at my neighbor's house across the street. My mom didn't cook beans like that very often, because it's not something that we ate a lot of. Dry beans like that. I mean, it was a staple in the house, but we didn't eat it like every week. But for some of our neighbors, it was something that they ate every week, and I loved them. Oh my gosh, I don't. One neighbor across the street, she just, I don't know how she did it, whatever, but they were always so good at her house, and I just remember eating that at her house. And it's funny how you think about when you think about it now, it's like, oh yeah, and I remember going down to auntie's house and making cakes. She used to bake cakes. And so I baked more cakes at my auntie's house down the street than I did at my mom's house. And my mom baked cakes too. But auntie always like, look, we making a cake while you here. Come on, get them in the kitchen, get your chair so you can stand up there, hold them, add this, add that thing. Um, my grandma was a professional baker, so food memories or desserts mostly. I take a steak over a slice of cake. Ooh, the thing that the thing about me, I want it all. I like sweet, I like savory, but I like to finish with something sweet. I do like having dessert. I don't mind. I will eat dessert first, but I always have room for dessert. And the funny thing about it is, I will forego eating. I'll go. Oh look, I'm just gonna have this vegetable. Can we have some steamed broccoli and ice cream? And I'm gonna have this dessert. Or I'll just have this vegetable. What's the vegetable of the day? Okay, I'll have that and I'll have that. Let me just have the side salad and the dessert. It's like I want both, but I don't want, like, I want the slice of cake with the syrup, the extra syrup, the raspberry syrup or the chocolate syrup, and the ice cream on top of that. And I'm gonna can I get the rest of that to go, my meal to go, because the meal will heat up good and I can have it for lunch tomorrow, but the dessert won't keep. So I'm gonna need to eat that before I leave. So I'm gonna save room for the dessert. But yeah, I got that from my dad though. My dad had a serious sweet tooth, and all of the kids got it, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We all got that sweet tooth, mainly ice cream. But not just ice cream, because there was always cake in our house. Always cake in our house. Always cake in our house. There was always cookies in our house, usually homemade cookies. But if there weren't homemade cookies, there were other cookies in the house. My dad was gonna have something sweet every single day. Not only something sweet, he's gonna have something sweet every single meal. I'm a steak for breakfast type of person. I'm a steak any time of day kind of person. And it is really hard for me to not eat the sweets, to not eat the breads. Like I said, my mom made yeast rolls, biscuits, cornbread, loaf bread. She made homemade whole wheat bread. Um, I grew up eating homemade bread all the time. If I had a sandwich, it was on homemade bread. So it's like, mm, it's hard for me not to eat bread. I think of bread as my delivery device of choice. You know, a lot of people eat with a fork, a lot of people eat with a spoon. I eat with bread. You know, that kind of thing. And for me to do, you know, to cut back on bread, to cut back on sweets, it's hard. It is definitely a hard, and it's hard because I have to separate okay, this is not food anymore. This is not food for me. This is poison. And so when you take something that was food, or was love, or was, you know, family, or was connection, or was tradition, all those things that people attach to food. If you take all of those attachments away from the food and say, "Ooh, this does nothing good for my body. Why am I still eating it?" I have a hard time with it. I have a really hard time with it. Um, because it's just good. Um, and and so one of the things that y'all will see on most of my videos, you will see hashtag eat real food. That's not for y'all. That ain't for nobody but me. Hashtag eat real food. One of my goals on everyday living, everyday life, is to eat food as close to its natural state as possible. Um, no, I am not a raw vegan. I will eat meat, but I want it as little processing as needed, you know, as possible. And so, yeah, sliced into steaks and then cooked and eaten. And I will eat it with very little seasoning on it. I want my food as pretty close to natural as possible. And so I try not to eat canned food. I try not to eat canned food. I try not to eat um, even frozen food unless I canned it or unless I froze it. I try not to eat stuff that has ingredients in it that are preservatives or colors, or flavor enhancers or those kinds of things. I'm not saying that I do that. I'm saying that that's what my goal is, to eat real food. So when I had a meal, and what are the ingredients? Well, today's meal I had um, ground beef, onions, garlic, peas, potatoes, and then some seasoning, salt, butter, and a little bit of the blessed smoky green seasoning in there. That's what I had to eat um, today. All of those things, all of the ingredients, I know what they are. There's no um, dye, fluoro, chloro, polyethyl, nothing in it. You know what I'm saying? They're just regular things, real food. And so that's one of the things I do is look at the label. What's in it? And so if you pick up a label and the label says, I forgot what this is. Got something right in front of me. The label has in it sorbitol, gum base, xylitol, glycerin, artificial flavor, mannitol, dextrose. Those are 4 different kinds of sugar and some more stuff. This gum is a pack of gum. But when you start reading that, that is not for real. That's not food. That is not food. That is, I went to the Dollar Tree and I was dying of thirst and they didn't have any water at the register. So I wanted something in my mouth because I had dry mouth, and I said, well, I'll get some gum because it has xylitol in it, and xylitol is kind of, anyway, that part. Um, But I had water in my car, but I was like, oh, I need to get something right now. But the ingredients, this is not real food. This is not on my list of things that I want to put in my body on a regular basis. And this is the first time I have bought gum in at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Um, and one of the kids will probably end up with it because it'll lay up here and they'll say, Mama, can I have that? And I'll say, yeah, sure. He says, I like my steak seared on the outside but mooing. I want mine hot all the way through. Um, it can be pink in the center, but I want it hot. I don't want it cool. Can we get it hot all the way through? And I kind of like it crispy on the edges, but you don't have to crisp it on the edges because I don't want it. I don't want it dried out. And if you don't know how to crisp it on the edges without drying it out, I'd rather the edges not be crisp. um, but yeah, I like my steak medium. And I can cook a perfect. I could. I learned how to cook a perfect medium steak in the air fryer. Then I got a new air fryer, and I don't know how it works, and I haven't used it yet. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Because I don't know how it works. It's funny because I took the old one out and put the new one in, and then I didn't use the new one, so I should have just left the old one there, and put the new one in the box, and maybe done something else with it. But anyways, I'll figure it out. I haven't. You know what? I haven't had a steak in a minute. I might have a steak tomorrow. Um, yep. But yeah, that's one of the things I try to do is eat real food. That's one of my hashtags that I use all the time, eat real food. Because a lot of stuff that we have that they're calling food is not food at all. And when you read the ingredients, um, you're like, what is that? Why am I eating that? It's like, why am I eating that? So, yeah. Best steak I had was cooked at a 1500-degree grill. It was like 30 seconds. Wow. That's what I need to get. And I might not get it because I just spent the money on something else. Uh, I need a new grill. I have a natural gas grill, and the burners are pretty much burned out. I guess it's probably usable, but it's really time to replace it. And I've found the grill that I want for the price that I want. And the only reason that I don't have it is because the website to order it online does not have all of the options to get it delivered and set up, because I want it assembled, set up, and the old one hauled off. I'll pay the money. I want a turnkey operation. I want you to take that grill out and I want you to put a new one in. I want you to go away, take everything with you, and I want to be able to turn it on and cook. And there's no way for me to get that done on the website, so I'm gonna have to go up to the store to get it done, and I'm mad about it. I don't know if I want to give them my money because they're making it hard. Make it easy. Make it easy. I'll pay for convenience. That is something that is very American. In the United States of America, we will pay for convenience. Make it convenient. If you make it hard, I will spend my money someplace else. I'm just saying. Or not spend it at all. If it's too hard, I will just not spend it at all. Ace might do that, but Ace doesn't have the grill I want, Mike. Um, I don't know if Ace does that, but they don't have the grill that I want. But I can find one over. If Ace does that, I will find a grill at Ace that I do want, and I will give them my money. Really, I will. Um, the last one we got was from Sears. When we moved into the house, we replaced the one that was here. We bought one from Sears, and we got the warranty on it, or the extended warranty on it, and that was nice because when anything would come up with it, you just call them and they would come and replace this or replace that. Or it was all covered. They came in, they brought in new parts, new pieces, new da 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 da, and to the point that they don't. Basically, right now we can't get the burners replaced because they don't make them anymore. The grill is old enough now that they don't make replacement burners for it anymore. Because if they did, I would replace the burners and keep it moving. Um, but yeah. A special thank you to Melissa P for supporting the channel. Melissa supported the channel through the Buy Me a Coffee Fund. And so she gets a special mention, y'all. I'm just saying. I do have memberships, y'all. I have memberships to the channel. I'm working on them. One of the things that members get is a shout out. Um, like TD's Urban Pantries gets a shout out through Nightbot. Like, um, Melissa gets a shout out for supporting the channel financially. Um, so people who have supported financially, or members get a shout out. But the other thing that members get is early access. And so, I'm probably going to upload a video for members only tomorrow or Wednesday, and then it will be available probably for everybody else on Friday. I will have some members only videos that are for members only, but I don't have any at this point. They will be very specific kinds of things that members ask for. If if you want to be a member and there's certain things that you would like to see me do. For example, if you were a member and you wanted to see me do some real time, um, some real time crocheting with instruction, yeah, I would do a video for that. If you wanted to do see some real time sewing, I would do a video with that. Um, but it like for a specific project or something like that. Um, but it would be things that you were interested in that you would request, and I would do members only for those. Um, or it could be garden and stuff, or any other crafting, art, cooking, any of the things that I do. Winemaking. I have no winemaking videos available, but I might do a members only winemaking video because people have asked. Um, Tea making. I'm gonna start making tea here, and so I may have some tea making videos at some point, but they probably will be members only because I will, um, yeah, I want to offer the members something. That part, because I want to offer the members something that everybody else doesn't get. If you subscribe to the channel and you become a member, then there will be little things, and then there will be members only giveaways as well. Speaking of which, I was gonna do a giveaway, not today. Yeah, I think I will do a giveaway. Um, give the biggest stone of the tree. Yeah, I'm not gonna give the tree to y'all are funny. Um, so I think I'm gonna do a giveaway on June the 16th. Yeah, you heard it here first. And if you want to be entered in the giveaway, you have to be present to win. You have to be um, subscribed to the channel, and you have to leave a comment on one of my videos between any of my videos between now and the 16th, any of them. You have to leave the comment June 16th. On any one video. But if you leave comments on multiple videos, then you'll get multiple chances. How about that? To win. And I don't know what I'm going to give away yet, but it's going to be nice. Oh, and you got to be able to, if you want to win, you're going to have to send me your address. So if you don't want me to have your address, then don't enter. Okay? Don't enter. And I will probably talk about the giveaway in other videos, but I may not post anything about it until maybe the day before, where I'll post. So I don't know how many videos I'm gonna put up. Maybe like an air layer. Oh, look at you. Y'all trying to make it hard. You trying to make it hard. Who knows what it's gonna be? I'm not saying what it's gonna be. But it'll be nice. It'll be nice. And yeah, that part. So, like I said, I'm gonna at some point I will post the rules for the giveaway, but it's a live giveaway. And like I said, you have to be present to win. You have to leave a comment on one of my videos, not a live stream. It has to be a video. It can be a short. I don't care, but you have to leave a comment, and you have to be subscribed to the channel. And you got to be willing to email me to give me your address. And if I don't get the email, I'll probably give you 24 hours to email me. If I don't get the email, somebody else is gonna get it. Somebody else is gonna get it. So there. So anyways, I'm gonna get out of here because it's getting late, and I'm not gonna be good for nothing tomorrow if I stay up much later. But thank you guys for coming in. Anybody who's here in the replay on the replay crew, thank you so much for being here. Please leave a comment for me. I will definitely respond to the comments and let you know that I saw it. It might take me a minute to respond, but I will. And 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. Y'all are funny. And I will be back next week, I think. Let me make sure. Let me look at the calendar. Chances are I will be back next week. Next week is the 19th. Yeah. Chances are I'll be back next week. Same time, same bad time, same bad place. What? 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 No? What? Yeah. Thanks, Mike. I went to drop a bag of peas or beans from the store. I want to drop a bag of beans in the store. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have in your cabinet, just throw them. Throw them out there. You mean plant some?
from the store? Is that what you're saying? You want to plant some peas or beans from the store? What do you have in your cabinet? Just yeah, whatever you got, plant that. Any of them will grow. We used to grow them as kids. Remember when we were kids? You had to we would you had a little paper cup and you had some soil and you had to put a pea in it and then you had to water it and put it on your windowsill and watch it grow, sprout and grow. Everybody grew a pea. I don't remember what kind of beans they were. Yeah, yeah, whatever you have. They'll grow. You can soak them first if you want to. You don't have to soak them first and then plant them. Whatever. I don't think they do that anymore. The school that my kids went to kindergarten at, they used to have a garden there, and then the teacher who was doing the kindergarten moved to the school that's now our city school, um, or town school, and they have a kindergarten there. They have a garden there. But then the school that she was at, they stopped the garden. I was like, come on, that was a nice community garden out there. Chickpeas grow like that. I don't know about chickpeas, but you can try them. Chickpeas do grow like that, but they don't grow like chickpeas are weird. I actually have some chickpea seeds somewhere. I bought some, and I couldn't figure out if they were germinating or not. I need to go and look them up because I don't know where they are. Um, but yeah, you can grow chickpeas. The New Orleans gardener grows them. I don't know if you can. I think the ones I got look just like the ones. I don't know. Yeah. Look, you're gonna have to look it up, GT Junior. I can't tell you. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. But yeah. So, but yeah, but like black beans or great northern beans, navy beans, pinto beans, all of those beans will grow. Will most likely grow. Um, I have all the answers. I have the answers. Oh yeah, I used to get that a lot at work. I had yeah, when I was younger, my memory was a whole lot better. And I could really access a lot of information that I just heard in passing. But as I get older, I don't it's not quite that way. Sometimes I don't even know the next word. I'm like I was trying to record a video and I was like, and I gotta and I'm like, let me pause this. I'm gonna have to edit this for days. That part. I will look through the prep and drop some beans or peas. I should do that. I should just go in the cabinet and see what I got and drop them and see what grows. That should be a challenge. Grow something out of your pantry. Pick one bean, put it in a pot, grow something out of your pantry. That would be a good challenge to do. But anyways, but yeah, I do. I'm pretty good about remembering what if I've read it. I'm pretty good about remember it. If I heard it, I probably remember it. Um, so yeah, challenge accepted. I just drop a couple in water, and if it sprouts, grow it. That part. That part. If you drop some in water, if you put it in water overnight and it starts sprouting, you good. That part. Challenge. New challenge alert. New challenge. You're so funny. I don't do good with challenges, y'all. As you can see, I don't do good with challenges. I start them, and then somewhere along the line, it's like, hey, I don't really care if I win or not anyway. I am super not competitive with you, but I am super, super competitive with me. And it's so funny. It shows up all the time in what I'm doing. If I'm doing something for me, I want to do it better than I did it last time. I want to grow. I want to do it better. I want to get my skills up. But if I'm doing something with you, I don't care if you do it better than I do, or if I do it better than you. It doesn't matter to me. I am just not competitive with other people. And it's like, because it doesn't logically, it doesn't make sense to me to compete with somebody else. What am I doing? That's like saying, "Ooh, I mean, I don't get it." It's like saying, "Oh, I can speak better than he can." Really? How is I'm 40 years older than he is. Of course I can speak better than he has does. I've got 40 years more experience doing it. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's me in competitions. And so whenever I do challenges and things like that, I it's more of a challenge myself. A pantry grow. Hashtag pantry grow. Y'all are funny. All right, I'm gonna go in my pantry tonight and find a bean or two or three and put them in water. Take a picture of it. Anyways, okay, GT Junior, your minutes are up. I'm gonna say goodnight. I had fun. Thank you guys for being here. And we'll see you next time. And we'll see you in the YouTube streets. Bye, y'all.